Bombaleo, Muppet sex. Doesn't make sense in no subtext. What we'll do if Ravenshadow dies. 99 episodes go by. And welcome to Trick or Treat Radio. Welcome all you goddamn zombies.
Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 99 of Trick or Treat Radio. We're fucking old.
Ugh.
Ravenshadow has tons more energy than everybody else.
Yeah, I'm fucking excited.
99 episodes. Man, that's like one closer to 100, right?
Yeah, real close.
If math serves, yeah.
Past
Math
it, if
doesn't
you count-
always serve this
If you count
this group.
zero
Yeah.
in the two Halloweens.
It's
Yeah.
true. So
And the New Year's Day.
New Year's Evil.
Evil.
Yeah.
New Year's Evil.
This is where, somebody cynical, like our good friend Bill by Force, would say, oh, they're all excited about 100 episodes. But I think if you put the good ones up against each other with, like, our good ones and Outside the Cinema, we'd be, like, way ahead.
So they're in the 300s. So
Yeah, well, they have about 50 shitty ones that they admit are bad, right?
Yep.
Okay, before Chris got there. And then they have,
true.
like, a whole bunch of, they can't all be winners. And then there's the one that they thought was good. And then there were ones after you and I were on, which just seemed shitty by comparison because we weren't there anymore. So you got to think. We've had, I don't know, the Muppet Sex one, and there's like at least one other bad one. But other than that, we're shooting aces.
Shooting aces.
It's all over the ceiling.
Better than shooting blanks.
So let me go ahead and give the spiel early this time because I know I think it took a while last time. Trick or Treat Radio is a phantasmagorical spin kick straight through the heart of pop culture. It is navigated by the Deadites. The Deadites are the world's greatest electroshock band. We destroy monsters. We drink booze. We win championship belts. And Ravenshadow, what else do we do?
Oh, and we're gear up for our 100th episode next week.
And we have no fucking clue what we're doing yet.
Don't fucking tell them. No, I got plans.
Well, if I
Well,
knew
you
what we
got
were
plans.
doing, I would let the folks know so they can get prepared. But we don't.
Ooh.
We have a bunch of what do they say? We get some irons in the fire,
Fires.
and we're waiting for one of them to catch on fire.
Ooh, I got some light. I got a match. I got a lighter. You want to?
You can help that.
Yeah, I can.
Which one are you gonna light?
This one.
No, not a cigarette.
Oh, all right.
All right. So that's what's going on. We are actually preparing for episode 100. We hope to have some news, maybe even as the show goes on. Who knows?
Might get a phone call. Might get a phone call
No, we might get an email.
or a text.
But we got some cool stuff coming up. So let me go ahead and just introduce everyone. We'll get to more of that a little bit later. I am Johnny Wolfenstein, the pencil pusher and producer of media for Trick or Treat Radio and the Deadites. This week, there's no more crime scene. I cleaned up the blood.
Looks
What do
better.
You think it looks better?
Yeah.
Okay.
I missed the blood.
You missed it.
Yeah,
Really tied the room together.
yeah. It kind of added a nice ambiance to the room.
Je
Kinda
ne
was,
sais quoi.
Yeah.
A rue c'est quoi?
Raven what was that? Amuse bouche?
Amuse bouche.
Is that like the amuse bouche to the show?
It was. It was kind of like the decoration before the decoration.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like before you see the drapes.
It's the decoration before the crime scene tape, right?
Exactly. Yeah, the crime scene tape was nice. That was
Yeah,
a
it
nice,
was a nice
feature.
touch, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We also have the immortal gunslinger, singer, lyricist for the Deadites, Dynamo Mars.
Hi, everybody.
Dynamo, have you killed any monsters this week? We don't get counts anymore apparently, but
No. But
no.
I also haven't got paid to kill any monsters, so there's a direct correlation between those two things.
Ah.
I've written a lot of comic, which, because I wrote it on my phone, apparently isn't valid to Michael Ravenshadow. Apparently you have to write things on an old typewriter with a ribbon.
No, it's cute. You get a little app that says notes on it.
Yeah.
It's nice.
little app that says notes.
Little app. It's nice.
Probably written more stuff in this little app that says notes now than you've written your whole life.
Well, I wrote something.
Yeah.
What'd you write?
Honey, buy beer.
Nope.
Pick up smokes on the way home.
I hope your wife.
That's a
beats you.
daily chore for you, man. You shouldn't have to have that written.
I should never
put
do
down
it
on
every
the
day. It's why it's routine.
It's like breathing to you.
Yeah, it's fun.
It actually is just like breathing to him.
It must smell that fucking breath.
It must be awful.
Yeah, it must be terrible.
It's not. It's nice. It's like fucking magic.
How terrible! I mean, does Wolfenstein like constantly complain about your nicotine breath?
There are so many things ahead of that. that's.
No,
I'm
fair
not
enough.
saying it's not on the list. It's just not, the first 10 bullets of the presentation.
Oh.
Who's next, Johnny?
Any ding dong. What's number 2?
What?
What?
Any ding dong.
Any ding dong.
Any.
Any
Any ding dong?
Yeah.
Any ding dong.
Well, we would normally
He's
I
got a
would.
ding dong that's an innies.
Oh, he's got an innie. I
all
see.
right,
I
all
gotcha.
right.
Alright, good.
I
Thank you for
normally
explaining that to us.
at this point in time I normally would introduce the katana wielding, synth collecting, mask wearing composer and songwriter for the Deadites, Tiny White, but he's not here. Dynamo, do you know where he is?
Nope.
You don't?
Uh-uh.
He's not on.
What, you know what? What do you think? We're married?
Anybody who
Wait.
didn't know you guys would probably
I
think
guarantee
that,
he wouldn't complain about my nicotine breath.
That's true because you don't have nicotine. Bro.
Right.
So Tiny White is on, not location. I guess he's on assignment, right?
Maybe he's trying to dig up something for episode 100.
It may be.
Ooh.
Maybe we'll get some news. Maybe we'll try to connect with him in the field. But yeah, no Tiny White this week. It looks like. Apologize for all the Whiteamaniacs out there.
The Whiteheads.
The Whiteheads. You just came up with that. You're very proud of
Don't
yourself.
call him that.
No, I actually I like that. I like that.
They're ready to pop.
We got the Trick or Treat Radio heads.
Yeah.
We got the Whiteheads.
You get the Raven Rooters and the Shadow Puppets.
Which one is it? Because there's only one fan.
Different. You can't put him in a box. You can't put him in a box or her.
You don't even know
Yeah.
if it's a him or a
I'm
her.
not sure. It's someone-
Transgender, probably.
That could be.
I don't know. I ain't
Hermaphrodite.
Yeah, they're
Lady-
popular
lady-
nowadays.
Lady man lady.
Statistically, if you take all of our downloads, there's at least one.
Downlords.
Downlords. The
Where the
downlords of
downloads go.
Salem.
Whoa, yeah.
All right. Well, we also have the chain smoking, hand kissing, baby shaking, lean pocket loving, comic book reading nerd, and the official smoke machine for the Deadites, Michael Ravenshadow.
That's right, Johnny. The sun's in my heart, and I'm ready for love.
The fuck?
Verbal love between 4 guys talking
Oh,
for 3
please!
hours.
You're making it worse.
Yeah,
No, it's just talk. I love that. I love.
yeah.
seeing
There's nothing wrong with love between 4 men.
verbal.
It's pillow talk.
But yeah, buckle up. What do you do? That's what I like. That's what I'm into.
I'll tell you this right now. I'm going to get out there right now. I'm not doing a whole summer right next to the Gorgonite. So we're either going to have to change seats so I don't have to sit next to this one particular tattoo.
Good, you can sit outside.
You have some good tattoos, but that's not one of them, sir.
He's right.
I plan on covering it. That one and the other
Then
one.
cover it right now. Put a fucking shirt on.
For Christ's sake, will you cover yourself?
Don't take off your pants. Man.
You're like Icarus.
All right, we have the vulgar guru of horror, member of Morbid Vision Films, contributor for Horror Hound magazine, and wearer of bad tattoos, MonsterZero.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys read this on my Facebook page last night or not, but
Yeah, everyone out there is friends with you and frequents your page.
For those who follow my Facebook,
Yeah,
for
all
all
two-
my fans.
all 2 of you.
I had a hamburger last night. It was pretty cool.
No, I went to go pick up my girlfriend over at the train station last night, and
Terrible.
Girlfriend Zero.
yes, and she's always the last one to come off the train and down the ramp, so I could pick her up, and because she just lets everyone go and then she goes. Well, anyway, for the first time, she actually beat somebody out, and she was coming towards the car, and somebody was right behind her, and I could not believe what I saw.
What?
It was a fucking midget on a Razor scooter. I swear to fucking God, man, it was the most amazing thing I've ever
So
seen.
what?
in
It
my
looked
life.
like one of the sail barges in Return of the Jedi.
It was. It was riding around. It was riding in on the train.
Yeah, he must have came off the train, and he's coming down the ramp, and he's on his scooter, the Razor scooter,
Yeah.
and the guy's like 3.5 feet tall. I mean, and I'm shaking. You know how I am
Shaking.
with midgets. You know how I am with midgets, right? I fucking love midgets.
Yeah, you can't help but masturbate when
I
you see
can't
one.
help.
Yeah.
And you know, I start shaking and quivering and start having seizures like Roger Rabbit after he takes a drink of alcohol. What? You know, and then you know he starts like that. You know.
Oh my God, what?
That's how I was acting.
This is not even real.
No, it was real, man. You had to see this. You couldn't make this shit up. A fucking midget on a razor scooter. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, man. It was so fucking amazing.
Did your lady friend tell you were dumb for laughing at it?
Yeah, she did. Until she finally succumbed to the laughter because she realized that what happened was absolutely insane.
So she wasn't the last one out this time.
No, she wasn't.
Oh. She's faster than the midget on this razor scooter.
Man, I wanted to take a picture of this,
This-
but I was afraid he was going to headbutt my tires.
The subtext of this story that he's not understanding, like that's over his head, is that his girlfriend is having a tryst with a midget.
Oh.
Midget Zero.
Midget Zero.
Like she's the only one.
Yeah.
Dynamo, would you have sex with a midget?
Of course he would. He watches midget porn all the time.
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, right now, right here on this table.
Can we get one?
Is it a girl midget?
Of course, yeah, we're not going to play stupid here. Of
Yes.
course it's a girl midget.
Yes.
You would.
Sure. Why
Ravenshadow?
I gotta say the nano, my brother.
not? Oh, what liar!
What if it?
You
What if it
got to
was?
get it from somewhere.
What if it was? What if it was the midget from Total Recall?
Central Massachusetts chapter of Amla.
Yes, yes, it is. Come on in.
We were discussing having sex with things that were 3.5 feet tall.
What the hell was that? What just happened?
We have a special guest in the studio.
What's up, bitches?
Come sit down between Mars and Ravenshadow.
Ooh.
Very excited. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Doctor?
Hey,
How you doing?
I don't think these guys even know who it is. So
I thought it was a guy from Catch a Predator talking about midgets again. Like, you kid, that girl's young. No, it's a midget. No, fuck
It's
you.
Chris.
You're getting cuffed and stuff.
It's Chris
I
Hansen.
have a present for you.
oh,
Chris Hansen, what are you doing here? I'm banging this broad.
Oh,
Shit, that's fucking sweet.
I would have dressed for the occasion.
For you.
so
I have other gifts, but here you go. That's another one.
what do you got there, Ravenshadow?
I got a pretty sweet Tom Selleck autograph. What's
So joining us live in studio, this is
What a treat!
yeah, this is a treat, not a trick. We have our good friend Jay, who you've heard from many episodes in the past, reviewing films. He's a film. Actually, let me get his intro here.
Just don't go through Millbury, whatever you do, because that's a surprise. I think like episode 40, 49. Am I supposed to talk into the
Yes, into the
microphone?
microphone.
I have a
This is
Am I supposed to put these on too?
yeah. If you want to hear,
Oh, hello?
you can do a dynamo if you want, and grab the mic.
Yeah, we can rock
It's
the
up to
mic
you.
like this.
Yeah.
Pretend like it's a cock.
All right,
Thank you.
Now we know what MZ's at.
Yeah, that's your.
Hello?
Yes. So we have Jay in studio.
Headphones.
You don't have to.
No, I'm
It's-
just gonna sit and I just wanted to come and hang out with you.
Nice.
With no tiny white, you don't have. There's nobody that you
yeah.
can't hear. Right?
Technically, you don't need the headphones, I guess, because no Tiny White this week. So
Thanks, man.
Jay, Jay's in
There's a long
town.
story behind it. I'll tell you off air. It's not really a long story, but as well as that, and as well as
An
other
entertaining
things I
one.
have.
Nice.
It's called Parents Are Like, Get Your Shit Out of My House. I was like, hey, I'm going out there tonight. Oh, look, 3 Stooges buttons. I like those.
Mo for president. I like that.
You just got to teach them how to use them.
Yeah, I'm going to put it on right
You jam that shot pie right into your chest.
Hello? How close do I have to get to this?
Yeah, pretty close.
Close.
You have to make out with it.
Oh, nice. That's hot.
I'm not doing this because I like it.
Yes, you are.
Well, I'm not just doing this because I like it.
This is exciting.
It's super exciting.
Yeah, Raven Ravenshadow invited me at like episode 45. Said, "Yeah, come on up."
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Stu!
It took a while.
It took me 50 episodes and an extended roundabout in Millbury.
You
to
just
get here.
couldn't get that car ride over here, I
No,
guess.
I could not. And when your phone runs out of battery as you're trying to find how to get here, and you're like, I think it's a farm somewhere. I remember that in the address. No. If there are any Android people out there with a charger, please let me know. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry. I didn't,
No.
The dog was barking so loud. I was like, Jesus. I like this. This is exciting.
You like the lighting? Is this
Yeah.
good?
I don't. This heat coming off of here is a little.
That's just me.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yep.
We don't need this.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah,
Well, what if he calls?
Where is Tiny?
It's jail.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Oh, the sexy librarian is yelling that she can't hear you, Jay. She doesn't like this.
Can she see me? Can you see me?
She can see you on
Then
the
that's all that
yeah.
matters.
But the people who listen to the podcast on Friday can't.
Fuck those people. If they're not Google Hangout. Oh, I can see. Oh, look. When I talk, I can see.
Yeah, you can see right there.
Hello.
Is it
Ooh, there it
technology
is.
Can you
wonderful?
hear me now?
There
That's
it
another
is.
statistic.
Welcome to.
Much like there's probably a transgender, if you look at the amount of downloads we have versus statistics, one of us has probably had sex with one of the people that downloaded the show.
Ooh.
So one of us truly would have fucked those people.
What?
And maybe in MonsterZero's case, he may have fucked the one transgender. That if you match our downloads
This
versus
has gotten
statistics.
very.
Yeah, it got very dark.
There's for our friends listening at home on the podcast. There's a very weird feeling in the room right now.
That's because Ravenshadow's hand is on
Why-
your lap.
Hey, I'm very excited to see Jay. It's been a long time, man.
Why do you?
I got a gift for you,
Why
too.
do you all hate transgenders?
Hey now.
Well, this
You think I'm kidding, but I do. I'll
now
show
that
you later.
Jay's here, I probably will not tell the story about the weird lady that was where I was all day
Let's see
today.
what else we got? What do you got here? I'm just
Some
someone
film
poke-
trailers,
can I
you know.
poke around at stuff.
Oh,
Have you guys-
sure.
Have you guys
What an
ever seen
odd-
like a super foxy woman, but then she had some like abnormality?
What?
Like so,
Like what?
so I was checking out like this like
Like a fin?
no
Like a
almost.
horn?
So I was checking out this foxy woman that was at the mall today,
Foxy.
right? And like then she turned the other way and she had like a baby on.
Oh shit.
It was like a.
I thought you were
chicken.
talking about the woman at the coffee shop. The apparition.
Oh yeah, no, that was really strange too.
I would like to talk about for a second. I
Oh,
know
there's-
we have a lot to get to,
No, this is much more exciting.
but I would like to get to the fact that there are two 35mm film trailers
Yep.
in front of me here.
Yep.
One is a flat trailer
Yes.
for House of a Thousand Corpses,
Yep.
the Rob Zombie film.
You know what the thing about
Okay,
that
just
is?
let me finish.
Shut up, Wolfenstein.
Let me get to the point first.
Yes.
Hello. And the other one is a scope trailer, so two different
Yep.
aspect ratios for Amelie.
Yes. Two fine films.
We're gonna splice
Is
them
this
together.
the-
Won't that be awesome?
This is like the poll somewhere in between the two of these. All the answers to the questions of existence lie between Amelie and House of a Thousand Corpses. You can find the answer to pretty much everything.
See, this is the kind of film breakdown we can't get on the show normally.
Sure you
That's
can.
why we have Jay
Oh,
on.
that's such a bullshit. You know?
What would that movie be like if like you smashed them together, like Human Centipede? Like what would happen?
A bad
to
Michael Gondry film,
I don't know.
Wow.
which
Michael,
I just watched actually. Oh wait, aren't all Michael Gondry films bad? Except for
Have Dominique Pignon in House of a Thousand Corpses.
that's not even a real name.
You think that would even work?
I feel like I could be far saucier because I can gauge like the
So let me.
Anyway, I don't want to hear the story.
No.
Get to what we're doing.
Well, it's not a
Shit I gotta
story.
do.
This is the Universal trailer. It's got the Universal bumper at the beginning. Which
And your point being what?
my point being is that's why I have this. Because
Before you go.
because they dropped it,
Yeah,
and,
Universal
and
dropped
then
it.
Universal dropped it, and then it was put out by
Lionsgate.
that was an amazing story. I can't remember if I saw in the same day I saw both Sid Haig and Bruce Campbell talk about. I actually think it was Bruce Campbell talk about how it was the point of the talks were how Hollywood treats the horror fan and horror films. And Time magazine reviewed House of a Thousand Corpses and had an interview with Universal's head of distribution at the time, who, is arguably one of the most important people in Hollywood. And they had just put out, I want to say Hannibal, but one of the Silence of the Lambs sequel prequels. And when asked why House of a Thousand Corpses, which he felt was far less violent than Hannibal, was unacceptable, and she labeled House of a Thousand Corpses pornography, one of the most important people in Hollywood said in a Time magazine interview that, well, we know that Sir Anthony wouldn't really do those things.
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
Are we going to get into a conversation about magic right now?
Magic the Gathering?
Magic.
I picked
The
magic.
Oh, the movie? That was
What the fuck is wrong with magic? You keep busting my balls over that.
See how I brought that back?
'Cause that's your-
That's
that's
what
your
it
Doesn't
one-
make any sense.
it was your one good pick?
Yes, one film.
I
was his
have
only
other
pick.
good
We've gone over
picks.
this.
Yeah, what was your other good
Greystone
pick
Park?
that whole time?
Greystone Park.
I
I don't even remember. Honestly, I don't even remember because it's been so
You
long.
picked Gothica?
This is what we should do instead of anything.
Okay.
We should just go
Gothica.
through all the things in this room and talk about them. Like this baseball card of Wade Boggs. Just kind of randomly, ladies and gentlemen.
That's not so random.
Wade Boggs.
Wade Boggs.
Wade Bucks.
Third base, Boggs. Okay, anyway, sorry. I'm excited.
I'm speechless,
Can I
actually.
sit?
Yeah.
Can I sit in your chair?
You want to run everything?
No, you guys sit together.
No,
You suck.
well,
You're
I want
kinda
to sit in the
sexy.
chair with you.
Oh, okay.
You have some weird fetishes down there at the end.
Yeah, I got fucking problems.
What do you have?
Coffee, one of them.
Blueberry shots.
Lots of them.
How many? How many blueberry shots?
A bunch.
I thought I could smell blueberry. I wasn't sure. I thought it was just me.
That's
No,
the
he-
body wash. Anyway, sorry. I feel like now that I don't know. What do you got there? What's in that film can?
It's just empty.
Boring.
Don't believe it. Don't believe it, man.
The studios will get you. Okay, I'm sorry.
What is he? What would he be smuggling?
Where's Tiny?
Could be anything.
Tiny, get over here.
He-
Seriously.
He's on location somewhere. Assignment location.
Okay. Is that what he's saying?
No,
He's
I-
What are you
looking for
reading
special
there? What are you
guests for
doing
next
there?
week's
What is that?
show.
What about? I'm trying to promote the show.
Okay.
Trying to do it while
Still
we're on there.
promoting that
Some piss poor midgets.
Piss poor midgets.
Yeah, we were
No.
talking about midgets now.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We
They
were. He
refer
was
to
telling
me
me.
Yeah.
as
All
little
right.
people.
Now we realize that Dynamo will fuck a midget.
Okay.
Ravenshadow
Oh.
will not fuck a
No, I
midget.
won't.
Why?
Not because you're married. Now, I'm not throwing that.
Why?
That's
No.
Why?
you wouldn't.
Because I'm very tall.
So?
Okay?
What? You afraid the midget might outweigh you or something?
No. There's some fucking big midgets out there.
She could
No,
handle you.
It's too. I mean, like maybe in a Robin costume.
Every
Maybe in a
Girl.
Robin.
Like no, not weird, like old school, like Dick Grayson.
no, that's weird.
No,
That's not weird
it's
at all.
not Tim Drake, because he has pants. The booties. No, it's not my thing.
So you would dress if you were allowed to dress like Robin,
no,
like
it's okay
Burt
for
Ward Robin.
It's okay for a short girl around 5'3". I sometimes picture her in like a Dick Grayson Robin costume.
That
Nobody
is
said anything about it would be a girl.
not heterosexual.
No, we're saying girl.
Oh,
We're saying
okay.
girl.
Yeah.
I mean, I would after a couple beers, I would bang a dude midget too. I'd bang anybody.
No,
You almost banged that
What if
midget
he,
at
what
that
if he
show
was
in Rhode
male,
Island.
but not really like
I
a
did
dude?
almost. I
He's
offered.
just kind of like like a banker. That's bankers wouldn't be really be. A
Now
Gonna
Ravenshadow.
bake
What
a
if
dozen.
what if the midget was the from Total Recall, the little midget hooker?
Bridget
Yeah.
the midget.
There's a new girl. There's Piper Penny. Who's that one? There's a new girl on the
Piper Penny? What?
I don't know.
A new
Like,
midget girl.
yeah.
Dominique Pinchon.
I don't know. But there's this
Bronson-
one midget. She's a
Bronson
suicide
Pitchoff.
girl. There's a suicide girl that's a midget, and she is like probably like top shelf hot.
It's too small, and I'm too
Are you
tall.
supposed to say the word midget? Is that,
I don't
is that
think so.
okay?
Hobbit.
No, I don't
Is that
think so say
acceptable?
that either.
Hobbit.
SL asked in the chat room, did he just say 5'3" is midget status?
Yeah,
Who
really.
said that?
Who said that?
Ravenshadow said that.
Well, he's like 8 feet tall, isn't
Yeah,
he?
I mean, no.
yeah, that's true.
No. I said like a little.
I mean,
like,
look at his legs. Like he's sitting down, and his knees are
Yeah.
above the table.
He's
Those are
Malvert.
those are your
Malvert
knees,
the
right?
janitor.
Oh,
Condor.
only Ravenshadow could make the fucking studio look like Ichabod Crane riding his horse in the old
Really?
Disney
Really?
Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
He doesn't have a big nose. That's the only thing that separates him from.
Kinda does.
Ichabod Crane.
Get the fuck out of here.
His nose isn't that big.
Yeah, he does.
I don't know. Let me see a profile.
This is
Let me
a
see.
good-looking guy.
Turn,
right?
turn to the side. He's got a normal nose. What are you talking about? He's got lanky legs. I mean, he looks like Jack Skellington, but other
his
than
foot
that,
up. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. I thought his feet were on the ground. Oh, all right.
Wolfenstein.
I'm not saying I'm not ropey, but what the fuck?
You know what
These
scares
normal
me?
Seats?
I don't like talking about a midget suicide girl that's top shelf. Because she could jump off the shelf and that'd be the end of it. Right?
Oh, SL says, I am not a midget, you tall asshole.
Oh,
Fuck!
yeah.
Perfect.
Apparently
She
she's
is-
under 5'3".
She's
She is
perfect
perfect.
height.
Who are
She
these-
is perfect.
Who are
I
these?
mean,
No, I didn't
people-
say a midget. No, I said someone. Oh,
No, backtrack it now.
No, we can't do it. Like 5'3", and I
I
picture.
thought this
you know,
was a podcast.
What's
I
a
thought people like
podcast?
yeah, I thought people like download this on Friday and listen to it. Who are you talking to?
Not anymore.
We have live chat room.
Oh, this is the Google Hangout.
Yes.
That never works. Okay.
It's been pretty good lately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I stopped trying.
What the hell's happening
Yeah. No. See,
Oh,
there
yeah,
she is.
without a doubt. Bullshit, Ravenshadow.
Yeah.
Talking to the mic.
Yeah,
Talking to the
Ravenshadow.
mic.
This
Bullshit,
this
Ravenshadow.
girl is hot.
Can I
Look
see?
at her.
I like girls who are hot.
She looks a little young now.
Actually,
I'm
not really.
No, 5'5". Was it 5'7"? Is perfect. That's
She's
the
not
most
a
ideal.
sexy
height.
5'7"
Barbarian
is
hot.
not a midget. 5'7"
No,
she's
is
hot.
Like 5'7" is
supermodel.
like a normal sized human.
Exactly.
normal.
Here.
Is that
well,
the?
all right. Well, maybe.
That's the girl from Jesse.
kinda looks-
Jesse Smith just tagged you in a post, by the
She
way.
kind of looks like an
Um,
11-year-old, though. It's a
No,
little
that's
shit.
the
Who's
woman.
that dick?
That's the woman from
fuck
the
Jesse
Halloween
Smith.
movies, right?
No, that's not her.
Danielle Harris.
No.
Yeah, that's
No,
her.
no.
Wait, she looks a little young. Did
No.
Dynamo actually say that?
What? What?
Did you?
SL asked if you actually said that.
I don't know.
I heard
Who
someone
is
say it. I don't know who
SLR?
said it.
Who is this?
SLR.
We need to know. We need.
The sexy librarian.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what is she in
Can you hear?
Wolfenstein.
Can I be heard now?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to. That's like it's weird.
what is the sexy
It gets
librarian
weird.
implying there?
But she looks.
She's smoking hot. Come on.
Facial is
Wolfenstein.
but
What?
It's, I
Turn.
don't wanna-
Look.
No,
Look
no.
at girls
Look.
in bikinis.
What?
Or whatever.
I like women.
What are you laughing at?
What do you think I'm laughing at? She's a small person.
They like to be called midgets.
I don't think they like to be called that.
What about it?
You don't think she's hot?
She's all right. Her nubby little thighs are.
Seriously.
Look at that. Look at the ass on her.
Out of the way, Peck. No, don't put me on a fucking list, motherfucker.
You're on several
What
lists.
list? You can't be on the list. You're fine. It's
Look
on
at
his
her.
phone.
Yeah. Ooh, all right. Well, that's
Well, you
weird.
looked at it.
She's cute.
That doesn't matter.
She does look very young.
She-
though. Are you sure she's not just young?
She's a suicide girl, so she's
is
over 18.
What is a suicide girl?
When the cops come
Elaborate.
to your house, you gotta fucking commit suicide.
This is fun.
I mean, offhand, I don't know her exact age, but she's over 18.
Can I put my arms around you?
Yeah, man, that's fun. There's nothing wrong with that.
I've never had or dated a very young girl.
SL says no, they don't. I had a midget mom yell at me for calling her regular sized kids small people. So,
19's an
I
acceptable
don't
age,
care what-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 18's
For
an
who?
acceptable age. I don't care what anybody says. She's fucking smoking hot, dude.
This show has never been more off the rails. It sounds like we don't know
Do
the
you,
mics
you
are
want me
on.
to go out and come in again?
yes, please.
Don't do that, because that's what this.
Because I had like 7 entrances.
That's what disrupted us in the. Stop Like, I really think that I like the lingerie. Like, I'd like to see SL in that, for instance. But, like,
She could definitely fill that out.
oh, yeah, for sure. 2 of those. But, like, at the end of the day, like, she looks like a little girl.
Yes, she's a midget.
Not, like, little in stature, little in, like,
Age.
yeah.
Like bus stop.
Like bus, right. Like, lunchbox.
Yeah.
Lunchbox.
There's like 7.
Who's next, Johnny?
On this week's show, we're going to discuss the film Bounty Killer, as recommended by our good buddy Rocky, who Rocky should be joining us soon. I think he had a gig, and he was going to come hang out afterwards. So Rocky recommended Bounty Killer. We're going to talk about that very shortly. You guys have a nice little conversation over there?
Excuse me.
When the mics are on, the people need to know what's going on in this room.
Oh, sorry.
Ravenshadow.
Yeah.
There are 3 things in life
Yes.
that you can count on,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
Do you know what those things are?
There's 3 of them.
What are they?
Midgets, transsexuals.
And transgenders.
And,
Suicide girl.
and
And
blueberry
suicide
shots
girl.
in your coffee.
It is delicious.
I can smell it. It smells good.
They're on a list, but what Johnny's asking is there are 3 is absolute, so guarantees death, taxes, trick-or-treat radio every Friday morning.
That's right.
Ravenshadow's like
Or
the
Wednesday
wrestler
night
who
on the
the
internet.
crowd
That's
is
right.
yelling
Google
so loud.
Hangouts working properly today.
The crowd's yelling so loud, like he can't really get his catchphrase out, but he's gonna get it out.
He'll keep trying.
Like he's gonna keep just the segment will have moved on without him. But
That's it's his favorite player. His favorite player of all time, Joe Randa.
Joe Randa.
Smiling Joe Randa.
You know who my favorite player is of all
what's
time.
going
and
on?
he's smiling.
No,
His first name is Rusty.
cunts.
Rusty
That's
Kuntz.
Kuntz.
Rusty Rhodes.
I actually almost guessed that before he said his first name.
Yeah.
I have a football card of a guy his name is Dick Pole.
He was the pitching coach for the Red Sox as well. The guy's name was Dick Pole.
Really?
There was a guy who ran for the Congress, I think, in New Hampshire. His name was Dick Swett. So if you go, and I'll put this out to anybody out there today as well. If you go on Facebook and look up a person named Dickson Mohrdicks, you'll find all the Dick names you could ever want.
I'm doing it right now. Yep, Dickson Mohrdicks.
Somebody asked this
We have a mutual friend on Facebook. I wonder who that is.
somebody asked the sexy librarian how old she was the first time I tried to get down with her.
How long have you
Oh,
known
look
her?
at this.
She probably was. I would say she was about 25.
25.
Yeah,
Balls
everyone should
bluff.
look up Dickson Mohrdicks.
Balls bluff. I love Dick.
You do? Yeah, this is a soundbite. Yeah.
You just created a memory there, MC.
And Reverend Richard Richards and Dickson Mohrdicks are in an open relationship. That's really nice of them.
Hey now.
That's interesting. That's some interesting stuff there. Some hard hitting Facebook news.
Notice how he had no problem looking that shit up, but he had some sort of an issue looking at the picture of a hot midget in lingerie.
Because that midget looks to be a very busty
Hey, I got a
11-year-old.
question. Where's Aries?
That's a really good question.
Yeah, we
you
have no
really-
idea still.
You really have been taking a long time.
We
to
thought
get, haven't
we
you?
thought he went to look for you.
Jay, that's a really good question.
Hey.
Okay, what?
All right, sorry.
What do we? No, it's cool. We're free forming tonight.
good.
You know, this is the
Like the
episode
Tom Petty
before.
song.
It's almost like every night, really.
Yeah, it's the episode before 100. It's the.
This isn't 100. Never mind.
No.
I'll be back next week.
we actually don't even have a format
Yeah,
picked
you-
out, Jay. So
You would have saved us some trouble if it was 100.
Yeah, I've been excited.
we have a couple things going on, but we'll talk a little bit about that later. Ravenshadow.
Yes.
Did you? How many times did you listen to last week's episode?
More times than you watched the movie. So half.
Oh, so he watched it once. He listened to it once.
3 times.
3 times.
I got my 3 in.
Did you listen to it
Why
in the
would
car?
you listen to it 3 times?
I got nothing else. That's all my iPod can hold. I got no room for
You
anything
don't have
else.
to have it on there more than once to listen to it.
all he
Really?
does.
Yeah.
I downloaded it 3 times.
That's all he's got. His trick-or-treat radio, his cigarette, and his beer.
I called that Saturday.
Your life is awful.
I know. That's why I fucking.
You're like a suicide Raven Shadow.
That's what your three
I'm like a
your
midget
3
suicide
guarantees in
girl.
life should be:
Yeah.
beer, cigarettes, and trick-or-treat radio.
And probably like esophageal cancer. It doesn't really roll off the tongue. But
Did he just
No.
say sloppy Joe cancer?
Yes.
No, esophageal.
What is that?
Cancer
Look at
of
you.
the throat, caused by probably drinking and smoking.
Nice. You're like the Gorilla Monsoon of Trick or Treat Radio over there.
Yeah. So the death pool, Jay. That's the good one.
What?
The good one.
I would pick that if I was. betting
That to
on
be
it.
the one that you would like
Yeah.
to bet that you would get sloppy Joe cancer.
Yeah.
Gorilla,
Sloppy Joe
Gorilla
cancer.
Monsoon cancer.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna suck. Do you ever look up in your bed at night and think this is the fucking last ceiling I'm gonna look at ever?
No.
No.
Really?
Do you
Jay.
ever, Randall, you
Yeah.
ever look up on your
shit,
ceiling and
fuck
say, "Is that me or dynamo up there.
Well, fucking Jackson
Somebody
Pollock.
left
What the
that
fuck
there.
is that?
Yeah.
It's like a Rorschach test on my ceiling.
Oh, from Watchmen?
Yeah.
All right. We need to cut to a break, I think, right?
Bounty
I
Killer.
guess something.
Bounty Killer. I'm sorry that you had to review
Why?
and watch Bounty Killer,
We'll
Jay.
talk about this at some point.
Yes.
You have this opinion of me that I don't quite understand. But
You like all film, I know that. You're not just a highfalutin.
I like this film, House of a Thousand
Yes,
Corpses.
and Amelie.
and Amelie.
House of a Thousand Anomalies. Before we go, did SL ever answer my question? That sounds like a dream come true for me. Did SL ever answer my question there? Because I have really she's going to say 26 or 27.
That's
She didn't
us,
answer.
right there, look.
Yeah, that's us
Yeah.
right there. She didn't
She
answer.
probably walked away to check.
Probably. Or just to get
I
away.
just want to know what she was implying there, you know? Like, make it sound like I'm roving schoolyards.
This is real time.
All right, let's cut to a break. We'll be back to talk about Bounty Killer.
You like comics?
Radio.
Do you love to dance? The big scary monster haunts at midnight is a collection of dark songs about sex, love, death, revenge, and the end of the world. Brought to you by the world's greatest monster hunting electroshock band, the Deadites. Available on iTunes, Google Music, Amazon, CD Baby, and all other digital distribution sites.
Hey, you matzo heads. This is Larry Fine, and you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
Hello, Ruby Bubble.
What's up, y'all? It's me, the Yeti. Telling all the ladies that they couldn't be more fine and that we should knock those boots like Frankenstein. When I want to get my nerd on, I go to Facebook and I go to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group. That's the place where I get to talk about all the hip new horror movies, all the cool comics,
What comics?
RPGs, video games, you name it, we're talking about shit on there. And you could not be any cooler if you were the coolest kid in school. Be the first kid on your block to swing that cock over at the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, search for Trick or Treat Radio, ask to join, and it's like Nerd Nirvana, baby, without the shotgun blast. This is the Yeti, signing out. See you at the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group.
Follow us on Twitter at The Deadites, TheDeadites.com, and TrickOrTreatRadio.com.
Dino, remember that song?
Is that the Roughnecks theme?
Yeah.
Yep, nice.
It's a blast
called,
from the past, huh?
Blacktop Samurai?
I don't know. I couldn't remember the name of it, but that is...
Blacktop Ronin. That's what it was called.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's a theme song the Deadites did for the Roughnecks, who, if you follow Chikara Pro, you would have known them. But if you don't, Luke Harper, who is in the Wyatt family on WWE.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, that's his. We made music for him.
We're like one generation away from somebody that made it.
From someone who made it. The The old bastard Mike Ledger is now in the chat room.
Uh-oh.
He missed last week's show.
Is
Yeah.
Is he a sexy librarian too?
He is. He's a very sexy librarian.
I think he's got a bigger cup size than the sexy librarian, but
We talking like athletic supporter?
no. I'm talking man's ear.
Man's ear.
It's called the bro.
It's called a bro. He says, "Damn sexy," and that's also hella, fucking hella sexy. All right, so Ravenshadow, did you have a nice smoke?
Oh, it was good times.
Oh, you went out and smoked?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
I
gonna
went
smell.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, do you smoke?
I don't smoke, but I'll just
Yeah.
stand out there while you smoke. I wanna be
Jay,
part of that.
SL says she was 32 the first time I tried to hit on her. So there, I don't like young girls.
Okay. So we're going to review Bounty Killer as picked by our boy Rocky. And Rocky's going to be joining us soon, just in the chat room, just
I hope
hanging
so.
out.
He's the only one who's nice to me.
I know. Bounty Killer came out in 2013, rated R, and it's 92 minutes. This action sci-fi thriller was directed by Henry Sane, written by Jason Dodson, and it stars Matthew Marsden, Christina Loken, is it Christian or Christian?
None of these names
Christian.
sound
Christian?
real.
Yeah.
Christian Pitre, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
And
Christian Pitre was a dish.
delicious.
That's very true.
We also had appearances, or I guess sort of cameos, by Gary Busey and Beverly D'Angelo.
Yeah.
Hey now.
Yep. So, a little synopsis here we have on IMDb. Bounty killers compete for body count, fame,
Who's
and a
Beverly
fat
in
stack
this?
of cash. They're ending the plague of corporate greed and providing the survivors of the apocalypse with retribution. This is the age of the bounty killer.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, who would like to kick off this review? Dynamo?
What's funny is if Ravenshadow goes first, he has no material
Yeah,
to draw
that's right.
from anybody else.
He's got a list.
Have a list?
No, it's all from the dome.
Oh, that's better because last week was really pretty
Boring.
shitty.
That was a failed experiment. But I did like. I thought that
They're in an elevator, and then oh snap, and then there's a guy drinking a drink. and-
That's pretty much it. Yep. Yep. Well, you gonna go, Dynamo? Jeez.
Oh, I thought Ravenshadow was going to go.
I'll
I
go.
did the-
I'll go if nobody wants to
All right,
go.
fucking
MZ.
go, MZ.
Throw it on.
Okay, you know what? When the opening scenes of this film had me thinking that this is, let's put it this way: if Astron 6,
there you go.
8, 10 years from now, this is exactly what it
They're
would
going to
be.
eat this from now?
What?
You said if Astron 6, 8, 10 years from now.
Is it 8? 8.
8,
Like,
8. The number 8.
but
You
it's-
know, or IQ. 8, 10 years from now,
They're going to
This
eat
is-
10
this
years
is-
from now?
this is the film that they're going to make. Because I saw a lot of Astron 6 in this film, especially early on.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I
did.
don't agree at all.
I did. I caught a lot of Astron 6, and
You
especially
caught a lot of ass.
Astron 6, especially
That's what you get for sitting on
especially
public toilet
Manborg,
seats.
especially Manborg style. The way the graphics were working on the screen, the way the action was filmed, and that it had almost like the perestroika type of propaganda that was going on as far as wanted this. This Christiane P, as Dynamo said, is a dish, and she is a fucking dish. Holy shit, she is so fucking hot.
Anyone else here feel like the joke was lost on him?
She really is. What are you even talking about?
Just a failed
You
experiment.
just gotta
Dynamo.
say he can't help himself. He's gotta say something.
Just a failed experiment.
There was a lot of I always look for a lot of references in films, and this was definitely had references to like maybe Mad Max or even more so what's that movie Doomsday from Neil Marshall. The action was pretty good. I especially like the the connection between the
The hero.
What's her name? Mary Death.
Mary Death.
And the other.
Continue. Never mind the dog.
I can't help it, man.
Continue with the review.
And the Drifter. I like how this was all based on a graphic novel. Because I never heard of this before. Maybe you guys have.
No, I didn't know actually
No?
until right now.
Yeah.
Really? And because the way they had Mary Death portrayed, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this looks just like something out of a graphic novel. I mean, and sure enough, it is, and it's a hell of a story. I like the way it's tied together. It's a little rambunctious at times, a little bit mischievous, I guess you could say, in its directing at times. But the story itself is nicely put together. The script is pretty good. I like the dialogue between all the characters. I thought that was fun. The action is so-so. I mean, it's nothing that you haven't seen before. You've seen this kind of gunplay before, knife fights before, kicking, punching, whatever, before, explosions. The CGI also kind of fits in with the Astron 6 style, where it's really, really noticeable. And but it fits because I feel like they were trying to like they are like Astron 6 10 years from now. I really see that in this, and for that it was enjoyable.
They'll be flattered.
and it was enjoyable. I liked it. I see possible sequels coming out of this. Who knows? The one side note, one weird thing was Christian Pitre. She did a movie in 2011 called Bounty Hunter.
Bounty Killer.
Bounty Killer.
It was a
I meant
short.
to say. Yeah.
It was the short version of this one. Right?
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'd like to see that.
And join us next time for movie reviews by the Iron Sheik.
I'll humble you.
I fuck your ass. I make you humble.
I tell you, Astron 6 was CGI, baby.
Bullshit.
Lot you see her before, propaganda. What do you talk about, a Petri dish? A family, fuck you. I love you. Good night. Treat.
And I thought Gary Busey was kind of wasted in this film, though. He not literally. Not literally.
And he wasn't used very much.
Yes.
No, he wasn't. I think he should have been used a little bit more than this. And as far as Beverly D'Angelo goes, I mean, for 62, she is a piece of ass.
You heard it here first, folks.
She is. What?
Elderly people and midgets, you're literally laying your fetishes out on the table.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty much anything that walks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but overall the movie was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It took a little while to get going after that opening segment. I felt it kind of lagged a little bit, but as soon as the second half of the film started kicking in, maybe 65% of the film, it really started punching its card, and I'm like, shit, this is pretty good. I'm really enjoying this. As silly as it is, and as stupid as some of the action is, and as bad as some of the CGI is, I really enjoyed this film. I had a fun time with it.
Fun is very subjective.
Shut up.
Dynamo?
The movie that had the bounty killer before. I'm on last thing. I'm asking now. I love you. Good night. The Sheik, I love you.
What are you doing?
Maybe Dynamo didn't watch the movie.
You gonna put someone in the camel clutch?
I gonna put the drifter in the camel clutch.
Camel toe.
The camel crotch.
I didn't know that this was a.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
It is. Let me see. It's Bounty Killer is based on a comic book, based on a short film, based on a poster.
Okay, good.
Whoa.
So they made a poster,
Wow.
then they made a short, then they made a comic book, then they made a feature.
Yes.
Wow.
See how I backtracked that?
That's good.
That's a long way around, man.
That's why.
It's funny you say a long way around, but a comic that sells a couple of thousand copies, and only a couple of thousand copies is probably one of the quicker ways to get greenlit as a
Yeah, you're right.
as a film in 2013.
Just don't.
Yeah,
be...
but you've never heard of it. I'm just kind of surprised by that.
Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with
Yeah,
you?
sorry. There's
It-
one I didn't read.
It's Kickstart Media, I think, is the name of the
Yeah.
company that put it out.
In the-
Kickstart Comics.
In the
actually.
credits, it said that, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Actually, in the middle of the movie, they just
You
said-
did watch
This
it.
is
You
Kickstarter.
did watch it.
And at the end, they
Wow.
had the comic panels.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the
they did.
storyboards.
So you
Spoiler
watched
alert.
you watched the credits. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Wow.
the opening and the closing.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Yeah, and a bunch of motherfuckers shot guns.
credits. And with the Cannonball Run blooper reel.
Nice.
Cannibal Run or
Cannibal
Cannonball?
I liked this movie.
Was Dom DeLuise in this
love
movie?
it.
No, I actually really did enjoy this movie. There's something to be said for the simplicity of this. Like, they had a concept, and they filled it up with... So they had, 15, 20 minutes of, story and concept. They had 2 characters that had a connection that they could play off of, so that was another, 10 minutes there. And then they filled it up with cowboys and Indians, and I'm okay with that. Right down to cowboys and Indian set pieces with, the Indians, chasing the stagecoach through the desert and
Were
being
they-
tied to the pole.
were they
and,
Redskins?
all the cliches. No, they actually look like juggalos.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed this fine. There was one thing, as much as I was having a good time with this, it made me a little bit sad. Because if this is what being such a big fan of low-budget action movies, the crap they churned out of Indonesia and Asian action, if this is what it's going to look like going forward, and I think that this is probably about as good as it's going to look in the sense where the CGI gore wasn't that good, and the CGI effects weren't that good, but they were better than, say, Sci-Fi Channel, right? They were probably about as good as they're going to be on a shoestring budget out of a little independent studio and stuff like that. There wasn't that dangerous feeling that, while we were watching Seventh Curse last week, how we were positive that 1 or 2 people died while they were making that. And
Yeah.
while that's maybe a bad thing to wish for, that feeling of kind of danger isn't there because your eyes know. Your eyes know that, that was a coon that fell off the back of that bike or whatever else. And there was a lot of, don't get me wrong, there was some pretty decent choreography in this and some good gunplay. And most of the CGI was just splatter. There's a really good practical head effect in the dead center.
I
of the
know which
movie.
one you're talking about.
Yeah,
too.
and
it was good.
but it just made me kind of sad, that we're not, this is so far. This looked compared to say Slaughter, or trying to think here, Box's Omen, or I'm drawing a blank now, but it was almost too clean, I guess, for lack of a better way to put it, too slick. And I just feel like if this is what low-budget action is going forward, I'm a little sad about it. I do like... I feel like, much in the same way, the opposite of that was my feeling when I took away of the ghastly love of Johnny X. I feel that this movie was not necessarily paying homage to Mad Max in movies like that, Escape from New York. I feel like it was kind of paying homage to the films that came before that. And I feel like at its heart, this movie was like a Western. And I don't think necessarily a spaghetti Western. I think like a big, John Hawke style Western. I thought it was fun, but I couldn't shake that kind of bad taste in my mouth where there is nothing wrong with this. I mean, there's plenty wrong with it, but there's nothing wrong with this movie that made it not enjoyable. But it just had none of the charm of what I love about low-budget action movies. That said, Mary Death, super foxy, drifter, pretty. I would say that he's like a pretty good C-list, action hero. He has his shit together and a good accent. I just couldn't tell how much of it was bad acting and how much of it was trying to deliver things a certain way, trying to give that Frank Millery comic booky, or even maybe Clint Eastwoody delivery. And I think what really, at least in my case, brought it home when she was interacting with the hot old dance lady that ran the beaver shop. Is that what it's called?
Thirsty
Beaver.
My joint.
It's in Cambridge.
Yes.
Oh, that's the Thirsty
Yeah.
Scholar. Sorry.
She like
That was Beverly.
That was
D'Angelo.
Beverly D'Angelo. by
it was
the way,
just a different quality of performance. Like I felt like though Beverly was obviously probably just cashing a check, I felt like she was kind of acting circles around the actress who played Mary Death, and I think that kind of says something in itself. The low rent Brian, I can never say his name. He was in Not House of a Thousand Corpses, but
Brian
the other,
Posehn?
Yeah, the low rent Brian Posehn. Pretty good in this. I thought he was really, really funny. The guy who in an American production would have been played by Sid Haig. The guy that Bo, was that his name? Who made the
the
made
guy with the
fuel
white
out of his
hair and the beard.
moonshine. Yeah,
Yeah.
I felt like he was really good.
That was the
Oh,
Coob.
Jimbo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 The Queen of the Gypsies was pretty good.
Yeah.
She was hot too.
I just felt like the leads were probably the two weakest.
Whoa.
Jay's mic went limp.
Yeah,
Ravenshadow, what did you do to him?
Nothing. Let's go to commercial.
But you know what I couldn't stand?
I knew my review was good.
This is a flaccid treat.
But you know what I couldn't stand
What?
was the fact that Christiana Loken is credited before Christiane Pitre.
What the fuck?
Yeah, really. And I'm sure that has to play into, her popularity in Terminator 3, and it's like,
Oh, that's who she is.
Wait,
yeah, she was the T whatever.
But wait,
in,
who's
in
he?
Christiana Loken.
Blonde.
In-
His
the
wife.
blonde,
Was-
in
Oh.
Terminator 3.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm like, and I figured, that's why she's getting second billing, because Mary Death's character is third billed. she is like all over this movie,
Yeah.
Right.
and it's like she's third billed. Give me a fucking break.
That's show business.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? That's not right.
Maybe she'll give you some autographs and you could draw her map.
But
Hey,
I don't.
now.
But I don't even know if she's third billed. I mean, she might be on IMDb, but
No, she's third billed in the movie.
what do you mean in the movie?
Like in the credits?
In the credits, yeah.
I mean, because I just look at the poster and stuff, and I'm like, it's clearly.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
but she's
Mary
on
Death
she's
stuff.
on the cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. It's the
But
Mary Death show.
Christiana Loken's character is in this film for all about maybe 7 minutes of the film.
Well, she pops up a few times. You just don't know what her significance is in posters.
Yeah, but
and-
that doesn't matter. I mean,
All right, well, who
she's-
cares?
She it's her on-screen time, and it's like, give me a fucking break. She's in the movie for about 7 minutes, and she usurps the
She was
second
expensive.
role. Yeah, apparently so. She had a role in which anybody could have played. She was meaningless.
She's actually our guest next week.
Yeah.
Fucking
she's leaving a voicemail as
Yeah.
we speak.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway,
Talked about me.
I did enjoy this movie.
Ledger asks, so we're going to beat up a friggin' C-list actor for his acting chops?
Yeah, no.
Where are those
I mean,
noodles?
I think at the end of the day, Ledger, they were, for the most part, they were all in one way or the other C-list actors. Just some of them were, I think, on the way up, and some of them were staying where they are. Like I could see low rent Brian Posehn here being somebody's buddy, being the next being him the buddy in a 40-year-old virgin type movie or something like that. He had some chops.
But the Drifter, I mean, you label him as a C-list actor here. In the 80s, he would have been like an F or a G or an H list actor back in the 80s.
But he was in some pretty big movies, right? Wasn't he? This guy, Drifter.
I don't know.
Matthew Marsden. So I'm looking right now.
Yeah,
So
he was. I think. I feel like.
Black Hawk Down, Resident Evil Extinction, Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, Rambo.
I think that's where I might
Really?
know him from his Resident Evil.
From the 2008 Rambo. He's got a couple other things on here.
So he's on the downslide.
Yeah, I think
he had a
so.
shot to become like Gerald Butler or one of those, and he failed miserably.
Yep.
But that's the thing. Like that's the difference. Like there was a place for C-list action and D-list action people to still have like a pretty good career. In 1987, they were trying to fill those video shelves. You know, now
they're filling Netflix.
Right. Well, but
Sure.
it is. But it's so. It's like messages in a bottle now. You know, like the algorithm has to be the right way. What you watched has to be, you know, you have to be interested in the right things. Very recently, my special lady friend has just decided that she was going to use and figure out how to use Netflix, and it's totally all fucked up. Like, it's awful.
Your
Like,
algorithm, yeah.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's. I've made this joke before, but it's so true when you log on and it says, because you liked Walking and Talking and Werewolf Rapists in a Women's Prison, like, you'll obviously like it.
Werewolf and Talking.
Ravenshadow.
Yes.
Ledger wants to know, weren't you in Black Cock Down?
Wowie. Did he have a couple?
Yeah, I was,
He had a
I
couple
was a
drinks
stunt
on
man.
the way?
Yeah.
This stuff
I was a stunt man.
You stunt something.
Yeah, I came at the end.
Didn't stunt his growth.
No.
That took him a minute. Did you catch that? There was a pun there too. Think
Yes.
about it.
Hey, I meant to mention
Thank you, Legend.
Stunt cock.
I had to go back and listen to it because I almost had a brain aneurysm, and I think it might have been 2 shows back. But was anybody else's favorite moment in Trick or Treat Radio history the conversation where MonsterZero yelled at me for interrupting him? I noted that this was a film conversation podcast, and he said, well, if you shut up and just let me talk, I won't be rambling on. And Tiny reiterated how absurd what MonsterZero said, and MonsterZero said, what, Michael Ravenshadow?
I've been listening.
He said, thanks, Tiny.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. I fucking lost it.
If you just let me talk all by myself without being interrupted, I won't be rambling on. Thanks, Tiny. Awesome.
That's the best moment.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking good.
Well, thank you.
You still don't get
Then
it.
why
So.
are we still doing this?
No,
podcast?
Yeah. Let's just end it before we get to 100.
Yeah.
So, was that all?
No,
Anything else?
I've been done.
Oh, yeah, I'm done.
You're done?
He's-
Yeah.
I almost
You're done?
missed today. How bad would that have sucked not being going all the way to 99 and having that be the first one I missed?
I would have been upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go around the room. Jay, why don't you give your thoughts? You had a chance to see this, right?
I did.
Okay.
I did have a chance to see this. I can't really say a whole lot about this movie. I feel like I'm split right down the middle on this. I think this is a movie. If you say like, oh, it was a piece of shit, I hated that. It's like, well, that's stupid. But if you say like, that movie was fucking awesome, you'd be like, well, that's stupid. It wasn't awesome, but it wasn't terrible. And I sort of had that whole wave the whole way being the movie. Is I was sort of like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm sort of the beginning. I was sort of digging that opening scene in the bar and the fight scene. Even though I was sort of, I think what MZ said was like, the fighting scene was good, but it wasn't sort of great and stellar. And we've all seen sort of better fighting in movies, and it seemed a little stilted. Like, oh, these are actors who probably were taught to fight very quickly, and so they were maybe holding back a little bit. That sort of. And then, it gets into kind of the story, and you're like, all right. And then there's a funny scene with the guy at the. I feel like I'm doing. There's a funny scene with a guy trying to be the gun caddy, and he's trying to, get in there, and he's sort of goofing around. And then there's the older guy who's sort of collecting the bodies, and he's like calling people assholes and cocksuckers. And it's like, okay, this is humorous. It's not taking itself too seriously. So it kind of, I had that wave like the whole movie. I was like, oh yeah, that's fun, that's cool. That's like, this isn't obviously a top shelf like action film, but it's not terrible, and it's enjoyable. And then Eve came on the scene, the queen of the gypsies, Eve, the rapper. And I was like, oh geez, this is what's going on now. Like Eve's like one of the main people.
Oh, is that who that was?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. Eve, what? Yeah, I don't know what her last name is.
Who knew Eve was a
Eve,
juggalo?
Eve Jeffers.
Eve Jeffers.
Oh
yeah,
man,
there you
I didn't
go.
even know that was her.
Was she George
She was
Jeffers'
kinda-
daughter?
Yeah. And so then I was like, oh, okay. And I kind of went back and forth. I think the only thing I think I like this movie. I can't. I mean, I didn't love it. Oh, sorry.
You don't have to do
Is that a thing that I missed somewhere?
That's Tiny's. I like this movie.
all
I
Tiny's
didn't love
reviews.
it.
Yeah, no, I liked it. Because I think there were more things to like about it. I thought the action was very well done for the most part, even though I think it seemed a little stilted at times. Even like the big chase scene in the desert, it was sort of like, oh, you can think of probably 5 or 10 movies that have done similar things that are like, oh, there's a lot more at stake in this, and it seems more vibrant and energy and action packed. And that might have just been the filmmaking. It might have just been the one thing I will say, just as a negative, I could not stand was the animation. I couldn't stand those animations with the map, and that just after a while just became.
I like that.
It just became repetitive and sort of, and it was too much of it. I think
I
if
agree.
it was used sporadically, it would have been a little bit better. And I get what they were doing. That's the
right.
thing. I totally get that they were trying to map out this world and trying to show you where they were going.
I generally love that.
Yeah, it
device.
reminds me of Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
but it just seemed like too much because it wasn't simple. It was like elaborate animation. It was and it seemed like this oh, we hired this animator and we're really letting this animator do cool animator things, which the animation itself is not bad. It just seemed to always kind of be like, oh, all right, there's this little animation segment. Okay, now we're into this.
No, it was a little weird that the map maker had like one of the animations like in his office. Did anyone else notice that? The animation where the Queen Eve, I guess it was, her head, like appeared, like when before they were going through the Badlands, like it showed like a cartoon of her face where they were. The map maker had that in his office, and like Mary Death walked like right over to it, was looking at it. So it was meant to be kind of seen. It's like a prop in the movie, like out.
Yeah. So I mean, I again, that was the only thing that kind of I thought it was a little too long. I agree
on that too.
I think it could have been tightened a little bit, but these are all sort of I think that's the thing. These are all minor. Like as much as even while I was watching it, I was like, oh, this is not a good movie. I think at the end I was just like, I like that movie. Like, it was fun. I think what Dynamo said. You have two characters. It's clearly like, oh, these two people love each other, but they hate each other, and we're gonna follow their sort of reconciliation and whatever potentially amongst this kind of larger story. Action well done. The comedy I thought it was at the right moments done pretty well for the most part. I'm trying to think of this one. And I loved Jimbo the Coob from Parker Lewis Can't Lose. I was like, it's Kubiak.
That's who it was.
Guy, he was great. Like when he came on the scene in those few scenes, it just really the film really kind of did. I think you even mentioned like it did kind of sort of blossom and open up a little bit because he was clearly like acting very well and sort of really had a lot of chops and brought something to the movie at that point that it desperately needed. So yeah, I mean, it's weird to sort of like pick apart a movie like this because clearly budget's involved and things they can do and can't do in time, and you got Gary Busey for one day I can guarantee.
Oh yeah,
if not 2. I mean, but like that guy came in and had 3 scenes or 2 scenes, and he was probably on the set for one day. Beverly D'Angelo was probably there for one day or 2 days. Another woman was probably there for a day.
Christiana.
And again, those are just people to sell overseas DVDs and sell it to Netflix. Oh, it's a Gary Busey movie. Go in his queue.
Gary Busey, man, he's just disturbing when he opens his mouth. Those teeth, they just blurt out right at you.
If they wanted to make this movie, the action in this movie more viable, they should have had Gary Busey like teach people the motorcycle stunts.
Hey, that was a fucking bad day.
That would be a different head gag,
Oh,
no.
But yeah, I mean, I think it was a well done film. I think it's the kind of movie that I don't think anybody would just go, oh my god, roll their eyes. If you kind of know going in the type of movie it is, and I mean. I don't know. It's weird. It sort of feels like empty in some ways, though. Like I feel a little empty talking about it.
True.
It's like, what do you?
It's weird because it has this old time movie sensibility in there with that old like, she's gonna pick up chase the guy out the door with the rifle sort of thing. Like, but she loves him. She's gonna shoot at the ground and shoot his toe off. But she loves him. But it has this very like all the stuff that's wrong with Hollywood action movies right now thing going at the same time. It's real strange how it teeters in between those things.
To play off that a little bit, I think the one thing that I would say that I could have done without in the entire movie. And I get why they did it, because they were really trying to create a world, right? I mean, they were trying to create this elaborate world that had sort of been decimated in the wasteland and all that sort of stuff. But I thought all the practical stuff was really good. I thought all the sets, all the sets when they were in the desert and they were just riding that, Airstream trailer, and there were cars racing around. And it was almost like I could have done with, if they could have found a way to not do any of that CGI background stuff. Seriously, like I think it would have been kind of modern, but still had that old time kind of movie feel. You know, like, oh, this is they don't have computer graphics where they can just create a they'd have to do something else practical. And again, that might just be money.
I mean, the Drifter treated the Badlands like Hawk the Slayer treated that part in Hawk the Slayer, where it's like, this is going to be a treacherous journey, and then pretty much just walked out the other end. Here we go. So they could have gone without all that.
I mean, and again, I don't know if you could have gotten away from all that. Whereas, like, for me, like Manborg, which you're talking about, Astron 6 is a movie that I think about, and it's sort of, that sort of enhances that kind of that short film. It's sort of all this kind of cheap background imagery and computer graphics. Whereas for me, it was like, I think I would have enjoyed the movie a little bit more with less animation and less computer stuff. Not that I just think it would have felt, I don't know, like a better made film, because it would have been like, no, they're in a real environment, they're in a real place, they're running around with real cars and real, the whole plane yard, right, where the people are living and they go to deliver the bodies and everything was like, that's a nice scenic design, whatever that production design.
It was great.
And even just the little towns that they created so you could do the fight scenes in those little sort of fake towns, I thought were all really good. So, I mean, again, I didn't love this movie, and he would say, I didn't hate this. No, what do you say? Oh, I like this movie. I didn't love it. Yeah. I don't know. I'll let Ravenshadow talk.
Another important part of a Tiny White review that I've been picking up on is you need to technically tear the movie apart with, like, surgical precision, but then give some sort of, like, ambush statement like, the lighting was bad, the acting was bad, the script was bad, but I had a really good time.
Yeah.
But and again, I don't even think I like to even do that, though, because to me it's like, if you enjoy the movie, then what can you really say anything's bad in some ways? Like, the acting was clearly what it needed to be for you to enjoy the movie. So how was that bad? How was that really bad acting? It might not be the kind of acting you're going to see in 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah, I mean, the acting is on par for a film like this.
Yeah, with the type of movie it is. It sort of fits right in there. And again, you sort of can say, well, is that just because the people don't have the chops, or is it just that they just know, like, you don't have to bring your A game, and then maybe somebody like Beverly D'Angelo comes in and she's just always on,
right?
Or the guy who played Kubiak, Jimbo. I call him Kubiak because I was at the Coob. It's the Coob. That guy's just on because he's like, oh, I'm playing this kind of race car driver, moonshine dude who just says PBR all the time. What do you know? All right, don't drink that.
That character was I think very well realized.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's just an actor who's worked so often that it's like they just step onto a set and they just know what to do. Yeah. It's like it's flawless. But it fits within that movie, and that's why he's not in big time Hollywood films or getting larger independent roles or something like that, because it's probably the type of acting he does fits in those types of movies.
Well, I mean, it's easier to his headshot probably doesn't look that good. That's what it comes down to, and it's easier to make his headshot.
Oh, his headshot. I was like,
headshot.
His headshot.
He sells bongs between films.
It's easier to make a handsome person.
What's his name? Arahim something? Is that look up his name?
Abraham
Lincoln.
I like Arahim. What did I say?
Aragorn Lincoln.
But yeah, I've talked too long. I liked it. It was good.
His name is Abraham Benrubi.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because Eve comes on, and I'm like, oh, Eve, okay, she's clearly not a good. But I'm like, no, very serviceable for that. Like,
yeah, I mean, I've seen him on like Roseanne and on Married with Children.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
It's such classics as.
So Rocky is in the chat room now. He's listening to the review of the film that he recommended. And Ledger says, what the fuck is this guy trying to do? Break the flow of the show by being coherent? This is some serious bullshit. And then he said the shit better not rub off on Ravenshadow. And Rocky says, There was plot after Mary Death's ass. Fuck, I need to watch this a third time then.
Yeah,
And did anybody note? If we're going to talk about Mary Death and being sort of
ass.
hot,
sort of.
because
Sort of hot?
Well, I'm saying being hot. Did anybody notice one brief little moment in the movie where they sort of show clips of, I guess, what she's thinking about in her mind, and there's a clip of her basically naked on the bed,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
and I'm sitting there going, "Where was that in the
Yeah.
movie?"
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
where?
She
near,
like
near the end of the
there's a-
film.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
a weird like hologram like effect like above her, right? Like she's looking
Yeah,
And her,
she's
back
like-
at
and her
her.
hair is all
Yeah.
teased
Yeah,
out
And
and
she's
shit,
like
looking
holding up
really
like a,
fucking
like
hot.
a sheet, like
Yeah.
barely covering herself, and you get a little side boob there, and
Yeah.
it's like, you know, and I'm like, they cast this obviously super hot woman in this movie, and they clearly exploited her by sort of making her bend over for things constantly,
Yeah.
and sort of rolling over cars and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, you kind of go, oh, now what? When? Oh, and then they have a love scene where it's like you don't see anything.
Right.
I thought, wait a second, this isn't right.
That's another thing.
This is wrong. This is bad filmmaking right here.
Right. Agreed. That's another thing that doesn't work in 2013 low budget action movies. Like Pam Grier would have been naked through like I'd say conservatively 20%.
What was it? Was
of
this? I mean, it had to be rated R because
Yeah.
of the violence, right?
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
There was 4 boobs.
There was.
Yeah.
That's right. There were.
Yeah.
That's right.
As a matter of fact,
Two
I
girls.
looked up one of those girls.
Really?
saw her picture?
Oh, you did, huh?
On the
I saw
internet.
her picture.
Hello.
The
Hey, I
blonde,
just saw you in Bounty Killer.
the blonde.
Restraining order.
She's from Fall River.
Really?
Yeah, hey now.
The blonde, which one?
But they
blonde.
The blonde, the one,
blonde
you know, the
naked
one with
one.
the tits.
The one that wasn't the brunette.
Jesse, the blonde woman with the tits
Johnny
in the movie.
movies.
Come on.
Boing.
You're now listed as stalker on Facebook status, Rocky says.
Oh, good.
Yep. All right. Ravenshadow, you want to speak on this?
On what?
Let me speak on this.
Did you
Oh,
see this
yeah,
movie?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if he really
Jesus
did see it.
No,
Christ.
I think there were a few things that weren't touched upon.
This is not Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Oh shit! Remember the one when Leland was in the tournament?
No.
That was cool.
What kind of tournament? Kumite?
Like, yeah, Kumite.
It was.
Kumite.
Leland, Dog's son, of the many Chapman boys. I know all about
Jerry
that.
Reed saying "son" all the time. Dog, son.
Come on, Flash. I liked this movie.
I liked it.
But did
What-
you love it?
I didn't love it, but what no one touched upon was the gore at times. I thought there were some kind of cool gore effects for, what they had. Maybe it wasn't always perfect, but there were definitely some axes in the face, scenes.
Yeah, limbs getting chopped off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think for whatever. Yeah, I think for and that's what I'm saying earlier. The practical stuff I thought was done well.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't. Some fucking crazy Asian weirdness or whatever the fuck. But it was fine.
What?
What?
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
It wasn't
Crazy Asian?
Yeah, it wasn't
stuff?
like some crazy. I'm saying that it was what it was. It wasn't the crazy shit, but it was fucking Netflix shit.
The human racist.
Yeah. No, but like really crazy gore stuff. I mean, it was like a really polished full moon movie.
How do you fit those headphones over your
What?
KKK hat?
You guys talk about Asian films all the time.
Rough.
I think he was Asian.
Say, Raven Shadow, say exactly what you said, and I
They
will.
came
and
into
we'll-
our
and
house.
We'll put it
I
through
think
Raven
they were
Shadow translator.
A, I'm not sure what I said.
You said it wasn't the crazy Asian stuff, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, why is that bad?
It wasn't any of them
He
slanty
didn't
eyes.
say shifty Asian,
Yeah.
so let's.
Yeah.
It's true.
He did mute his racism on.
Yeah, I didn't say
something.
that. Don't get me fucking going. But I didn't fucking say that.
Like the ESPN World Cup commentator said the other day. They said that the Japanese team was cunning, and I thought, oh,
Cunning
and the
linguists.
African team was strong, and I thought
Nice.
that's the racist. Sorry.
Wait.
Continue.
Let's
About
get
the
a
gore.
Let's get Crazy Asian, right? You
Yeah.
said?
Yeah.
Let's get a translation on this. Dynamo, you want to read the translation when it comes out?
I hate everyone that's different.
That's
No!
that's what you mean?
That's a bad robot. There's a glitch. It could be a virus from the fucking MonsterZero's midget fucking pornography he looks up. Don't
Alternate.
download that.
There are no Asians in Millbury.
No, there's one of them. We know where they are at all times. He's taking it off now. We're all synced in. No, motherfucker. Like, you know the crazy like Hong Kong, Bangkok?
I smoked during geography.
Hong Kong, Bangkok, what?
You know, those fucking different places.
Bang a gong. Get it
All
on.
those magical realms where they do things that are different. Kind of reminded me of Death
You
Race
know,
2000.
Hong Kong, Narnia.
Yeah. I don't know why I had a little Death Race vibe. And with Mary Death, she was fairly believable as the hot chick in the garter belts and the M60. Like, I don't know.
Sort of believable. Really? I thought she was
Yeah.
quite believable
Yeah,
in
she was-
in those garters.
But it wasn't like
She's not believable in your dreams, though.
Yeah, like, you know, who's the chick from fucking the Dracula movie?
Which one?
Leather
The,
Dracula.
the Dracula movie. Wait.
The Underworld.
Wait.
Kate.
I've never read a book.
You're talking about Kate Beckinsale?
Yeah. She's those,
Mina Harker.
yeah, all those Draculas.
Winona Ryder? She's in a Dracula movie.
That's right. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
See, this is what you miss when you're not live in
Isabella
studio.
Johnny?
I learned something that I won't talk about being in the studio already, but I can't talk about it on air.
That Ravenshadow smells.
Hey. Nah, I got to fucking...
It's probably me, but I didn't take a shower today.
Yeah, he's wearing his fucking slippers and
Yeah.
pajamas.
It's a true
Pajamas?
Hong Kong, Bangkok.
God, Bangkok.
Bangkok,
Did you learn how the awesome of MonsterZero's Gorgonite tattoo?
Continue. Here's some more.
I agree with Ravenshadow.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
really?
you, Jay.
And whatever point he's making, that's not racist.
Ledger says, okay, we're safe. Nothing rubbed off on Ravenshadow at all.
You'd be surprised, Ledger.
I wish we... You know what would be good if we had any CG skills? We could CGI a burning cross behind all Ravenshadow.
No, it's... No.
No.
Yeah, somebody photoshopped that shit together. Ravenshadow
No!
with a burning cross.
Don't listen. No.
People
Rocky, whoever the one, don't fucking do that.
Ledger said, done.
Ledger.
Different.
Oh, Snoop!
With
Oh,
different
Snoop.
colors and with different creeds. And different people have different needs.
Or a KKK guy with a cigarette hanging out of his
No!
mouth and,
No.
What else, Ravenshadow?
and
What
with a
else?
blurb saying
Thank you.
Bambaleo.
What else?
Thank you, Jay.
What
Thank
else? Let's
you.
get some. Let's
Good-
get some order here.
Good question,
Wow,
Jay.
so we can calm things.
That's order
Hold
number
on.
7.
We're gonna calm things
Ku
down.
Klux Klan evil.
So Ledger can work on that graphic.
Ledger, your wife's
And-
calling.
Ledger says, oh shit, I have a mission for tomorrow. I'm so happy now.
Oh, God. Ledger.
You can get a good cross at yeah. You can
Crotch.
get a good cross at a mission.
I'm doing fucking cross chops.
Or get a good.
Crotch chop?
There you go.
Cross chops.
For the DX fans out
It's
there.
like pork chops. It's fine.
Yeah, cross chops and applesauce.
That's swell.
Continue.
Keep going.
Sorry. Yeah, it was fun. No, I like the little backstory. I like the fact that the fat cats were the bad guys.
Oh, you're going to say white people.
Yeah, I hate those guys.
Racist.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I'm also part Native American, much like MonsterZero.
Rocky says,
I am a Native American. I was born in Lowell.
Sure.
wait,
I'm a
MonsterZero is a Native American.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm part Native American. I am.
He's
I'm all Native American. I was born in Lowell. I'm a native of America.
And how?
Yeah.
Because
Wait, Rocky sees Ravenshadow on an Indiana Jones style movie poster with Ravenshadow in the land of the Bing Bong. Oh, jeez. Ravenshadow, anything else to add?
No, I
You're
like
on a roll.
I like the little revelation about the drifter. I like that was kind of cool, and it was fun. It was fun enough.
Fun
know?
enough.
Yeah, I was watching season 1 of True Detective with the wife in shadow.
There wasn't enough white people in this movie.
Well, maybe you. And
You like boring TV shows.
No, man, it's
Like-
like content.
not
You like
get enough
slow
of
TV
episodic
shows,
television. You
and you-
fucking love it.
Well,
Wait.
it's not fucking Sister Wives, but fucking what is?
Wait, you like slow TV shows and you hate when movies are slow. What's the deal?
I'm a fucking conundrum wrapped up in a fucking enigma. It's fucking weird.
Game of Thrones like your favorite show.
By the way,
With a riddle on the side.
for our people listening on not so good sound systems, he said enigma.
Enigma. Like Edward Nigma, the Riddler. Don't fucking go to commercial.
A nig what?
I'm very enigmatic.
A nig what?
Was anybody else bothered with like the half an hour flashback in the
I
middle of
was.
the movie?
Yeah.
I hate that. There was something we watched
And they
recently.
did it twice. I mean, the second one wasn't that
Yeah.
long. It was only like 10 minutes, but
Flashback
seventh curse.
placements are so right. That was pretty
yeah.
good.
But that was awesome, yeah.
Yeah, that was some of the best stuff in the movie. Flashback placements are so important. Like you got to hit them at
Yeah,
just
it's
the right
tricky.
part of the movie,
I
or
think
else.
the
It was
place-
Tricky.
It was Abhay.
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
was
yeah.
That
Abe,
was-
Abe
it
had
had
like
like
a
a
45-minute
45-minute
one, right?
oh, yeah.
It was like
that
an
turned
hour and
into
a
like
half in.
a drama. Like so, there's fucking crazy animation going on, followed by a drama about child abuse and alcoholism, like right in the middle of the
And I
movie.
thought the placement was fine. I thought where it was okay. And the only thing they had to get across was, yeah, we had a relationship, and that's her.
right.
And she fucked me over and stabbed me. Right?
I stopped reading a book recently because it like got 3/4 through, and then had a 2-chapter flashback.
Yeah. I mean, was the whole 10-minute like training sequence really necessary for that length of time? It's like that's what I mean by just sort of
I
like
agree.
falling in love with too much story in a certain time. And then when they did the second one, it almost felt like, oh, now you're doing this again. You can't just have. Again, like a better screenplay or a better writer might have been able to sort of say, no, we can tell the story in a different way or with a different exposition. When the woman actually shows up, she can, it's like in a Bond movie when the Bond villain finally tells you, like, here's the actual plan instead of somebody else.
Right.
I don't know. So I liked the backstory. I thought the flashback was okay because you needed to know that's her and that they had a relationship and that's why they're sort of at this sort of push and pull relationship, but then also at the same time I was sort of like, oh, we've just launched into the prequel now in the middle of this movie, and we should be really railing forward towards kind of the second act of this film.
Right.
We should be in it. And again, a great exploitation film or grindhouse film or sort of lower budget film. You keep them short by sort of essentially getting rid of most of the second act.
Right.
You have your first act, and then you get right into like, oh, now they're at the bad guy's house, and they have to kill everybody.
Right.
It's sort of, you don't need all of that.
And it felt disingenuous, too, the second one especially, because I felt like he was so, like, terse in all his delivery and everything. And then even though they showed it to us and it wasn't, like, backed up by any, like, narration, like, we're supposed to believe at any point in this guy's life where he probably only has, like, literally, if you put it together, like 5 pages of dialogue, maybe in a 2-hour movie, like that he was going to talk that long to tell those stories.
Yeah. He's the drifter.
You all set, Ravenshadow?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah, that's all.
So,
That makes me sad.
you want to keep going, Ravenshadow? We
Well,
can make
sure,
some stuff up.
Oh, yeah, fucking Martian showed
Fucking
up.
Mosh.
That was
No,
weird.
all right, stop. Let's get-
Ravenshadow's favorite director is Ku Klux Michael Mann.
What?
Ku
No.
Klux Knievel.
Ku Klux Klan.
So,
The Wrath of Ku Klux Klan.
We have notes here.
no, I just took it. I barely took any notes. I just want to make sure.
Ku Klux Kenobi.
Actually, the first thing, if Tiny were here, I think he would echo the sentiment that this film was very reminiscent of a video game within the last few years, Borderlands. If anyone, I don't think any of you guys have played Borderlands.
I've
but
watched him play it. So.
Borderlands is post-apocalyptic, sort of Mad Max sort of vibe. It's very colorful, lots of crazy characters, and this game was very. This movie was very reminiscent of that game. I played the first 2 games in the Borderlands series, 1 and 2, and it was very like even this picture right here is that I'm looking at on this article on the Wrap.com is like that's something almost right out of Borderlands.
Or the game.
I'm Borderlands by this comparison to Borderlands.
You're borderline. There's some interesting stuff in this article I was looking at the Wrap on the Wrap.com. the guest blog is by Henry Sane, the director. He talks about sort of how it became a thing, and like I had mentioned earlier, it was basically like they had talked about doing like a film. It was basically based on the Enron scandal. So this is way back, like in the early 2000s, I think, and they talked about doing something about like the scandals and the dangers of big business, and that's sort of how this whole thing begun. And they were looking at a book of vintage sci-fi film posters. And
Enron, isn't that the robot from Justice League?
Oh,
no,
Elron.
that's
No.
yeah.
No, that's the guy that made Dianetics.
No,
L. Ron Hubbard.
did. Elron.
No, that's
worked
John
for
Candy.
Enron.
No, that's the
Magna
guy
Com.
who had diabetes. Sorry.
No, that's Dynamo.
And
Oh
they
my
basically
goodness.
wanted to be about like the premise was that this is it'll be about Enron ending the world. That's sort of where the
Right,
genesis came from. And the interesting thing is Kickstart, who I guess produced the film and the comic book and stuff like that. One of their main investors is Walmart, and so it's kind of funny. They actually, when they put the comic book out, they had to make it PG so they could sell it on Walmart shelves.
Okay, I fucking hate this movie now. Seriously, that just pissed me off.
Walmart, don't piss me off.
Yeah. And it's just kind of funny how a giant corporation ended up helping to fund a movie and in a comic book about the evils of giant corporations. I thought that was
Although
kind
look
of
at an
And
evil
Walmart's the biggest of them all.
yeah,
man.
but look at that. An evil corporation helps create some joy in all of our lives.
it's
Thank
true.
you,
with,
Walmart.
with their constantly low prices and
No,
wonderfully friendly
with
atmosphere.
their I wouldn't know about that, but I'm saying by giving money to these people to make this movie that we all
Sure.
enjoyed.
Yep.
Very interesting.
And anyway, MonsterZero,
there's
you
a little-
fucking love Walmart.
There's a
No, I don't fucking love Walmart. I go there, but I don't. I that doesn't mean I enjoy it.
If I had
Do
$1
you like
for every
Walmart?
fucking
Not love
selfie you took at Walmart, I could buy a Walmart.
That's great.
It'd be called
Great.
Marsmart.
Mars Mart.
Walmart's.
That's a total robot name in some movie
Mars
somewhere.
Mart.
Yeah.
Mars Mart.
Oh, Shazbot.
Shatbot.
So I thought that was kind of interesting,
That
but
is interesting.
overall, I thought this movie. I actually probably agree with Jay the most. I think I agree with all you guys for the most part, but Jay, I think said it like
So you hate Asian people?
no.
I love Asian
Bing
people.
bong Bangkok.
Wait, hold on. I love people of all colors, creed, background, religion.
All colors. How many colors are people?
I am a
Can we take
nightmare
a-
walking
What color are
psychopath
you,
Duncan.
Ravenshadow?
Kind of
White.
pale.
Yeah, he might be pale, but his fingertips are nicotine brown.
I'm kind of grayish in a weird
Grayish.
way. I'm shadow-like.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Oh shit. Oh.
Ooh.
See what I did
Shadow
there?
cabinet.
Ashen.
Because his name.
Hey now.
See what we did there?
Oh shit. That was nice.
Oh, Snoop.
So I think overall, I did like this. It was I just there was something keeping me from really enjoying it though. Like it just was like there were some things I liked. Points I like some of the characters, and I like the setting. I'm a fan of post-apocalyptic stuff, and this was we saw what was it Doomsday? Was that the
The Neil Marshall.
Neil
Yeah.
Marshall joint?
Yeah.
I didn't really
You
like that.
mentioned that first, by the way.
Yeah.
Just keeping tabs.
I remember I went to go see it with Dynamo. I don't know who else was there.
I was there.
He was
You were
there.
there?
This
Okay.
asshole took his shirt off in the parking lot.
Oh.
I'll never forget that as long as I live. Coming out of the ground round or wherever we were, and this guy's naked.
I really wanted.
Round.
I really wanted to love that movie, and I just didn't. I thought it was okay. I didn't love it, but
Have you watched it since?
No, I have not actually. Just that we saw it in the theater.
I
so-
like it more now. I still don't
Yeah.
love it, but I like it more now. I mean,
I
went,
like Hot to Trot.
that's a good one too.
I
I mean,
Yes.
Bobcat,
for
yeah.
me, I went in there with that being the director who had made my two favorite movies in the last 10 years before
Right,
that.
right.
So
Was
So
John Candy the voice of the horse in that?
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't?
Bobcat Goldthwait was.
No, Bobcat Goldthwait was the
was
lawyer.
in, yeah,
guy.
it was in the movie.
John Candy was the
Oh,
horse.
that's right. That's right. You're right.
That's a fucking movie.
Damn
Yeah.
right it is.
It's no Dunstan checks in though.
no,
No.
Or A Fine Mess with Ted Danson and
What was that? What was that movie with the
Howie
elephant
Mandel.
and Bill Murray? What was that one?
Larger than life.
Operation
Larger than
Dumbo
Life.
Drop.
No, Larger Than Life. That's it.
Oh.
I really almost at that. Tiny used to have these when he lived in Long Island. These pretentious people over, and they'd have parties. And I really almost like got them to the point where they like brought out their inner savages because it was around Oscar time, and they're talking about all the Oscar films, and like that's when I had my now infamous statement: "Apocalypse Now." Movies like that happen every single year, right? What do you mean? Well, there's an Oscar. There's a Best Picture, right? Yeah. So what do you think the Best Picture is? There will only ever be one. Dunstan checks in. And I can't remember anything I said, but I defended it so eloquently that it drove these people into a berserker rage. I've never been allowed back in Long Island for better, for better or for better.
You get banned from a lot of places.
Yeah, well, normally it's because I'm naked. This was because I was.
Or you don't have your ID.
I had my ID then. They wouldn't let me in over the bridge.
So, yeah. That's pretty much it. I think it was a fun film.
It.
No, I think it was a fun film. There was some fun stuff going on, but for me it's a Netflix instant movie. You know, I wouldn't go check it out in the theater. I wouldn't buy it.
Released in the theaters? I don't think it was.
Well, I guess I'm just using it as a barometer, not a bonometer, but a barometer.
Yeah. What about the? This is another thing I just thought about randomly. And again, I'm not trying to. But what about the exposition? At the beginning, did that seem extremely long to you? I don't think it was probably that long, but like when they were trying to explain, like, hey, this is what happened, and this is why there were people running around killing people. And again, it's like they gave the animator a bunch of money and said, hey, we need like a 5-minute sequence here. Can you just make a 5-minute animated movie to explain like why the world is fucked up? And it was just sort of like, can we just get into the movie? Like, can't we find a better way to do this? That's what I'm saying. It was like a roller coaster because every time I do that, then something funny would happen or something cool, or I'd be like, "Oh, that was a nice kill," or "That was a nice effect," or "Oh, it was funny when that guy's balls got ripped off." Or whatever. And, it's like, and oh, that guy's funny, and oh, he's got glasses. Look, he just fell on his face. That's funny. Slapstick in the middle of like this, apocalyptic movie. That's funny.
I'm still, I think, scarred from Godzilla. Like, I feel like the opening credit sequence and all the set up at the beginning of that was longer than most Godzilla films. So this seems short compared to that.
Yeah, I didn't see Godzilla. So I mean, you're talking about the remake.
Yeah, well, the
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
That movie is horrible.
Yes.
Anybody, I get sometimes we can go after films and say, I'm really gonna. I don't even know if you guys are joking about Dunstan Checks In or not. I don't remember that film, so
it's got Paul Rubens in it, and there's a big game.
I remember there's a scene where
Yep.
he's basically massaging a woman and jumping on her back. That's right in the hotel.
Yep.
But that's all I remember. And again, you can do that with a lot of movies, defend movies that people would say, whatever. But the '98 Godzilla is a piece of
awful.
shit. It is horrible. It is horrible. It is, and if anybody tries to tell you
Indefensible.
the way they'll like try to defend, a movie like Marnie from the '60s and be like,
Waste
"Oh, that's
of
a great
guitar
Hitchcock
picks,
film." It's
man.
like, okay, I'll give you that, but Godzilla's awful. There's nothing redeemingly even good about that Matthew Broderick movie. And I hate to say that as somebody who can find good in all races and creeds and colors.
Hey, Godzilla.
Thank you.
And Godzilla.
Yeah, and Godzillas.
And kaiju
kaiju,
monsters. Is it kaiju?
Yeah.
That's
Careful,
racist. That
careful,
sounds racist.
careful.
That was a
And
bad
Ga-
Gai-
bad
Gaijin.
movie.
Gaijin.
You're Gaijin.
Of the highest order.
Does that mean you like Godzilla?
Rocky mentioned Going Ape with Tony Danza.
It's a good movie.
Oh,
And then
wow.
Ledger
Yeah.
said it wasn't as good as Dom DeLuise's Hot Stuff.
Motherfucker, anything
Yes.
but loose.
No, I think Dom DeLuise was awesome in Fatso.
Yes. I'm a big every which way you can.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's, you gotta.
Son of a bitch ate a whole fucking bag of Oreos.
Remember when Barber was on the show and went into like a 4-minute diatribe about Clyde and the Oreos? Like I think I pulled something in my chest and I still haven't. I'm still not better. Clyde, why did you eat all the Oreos?
Yeah.
And there used to be a Ruth Gordon Theater down on Route 9.
Oh yeah, I went there a couple times.
Oh wait, are we allowed to? Well, that might give away
Our location? No, it's all right.
Yeah.
We're at a different location today. That's why
We're at a
Remote.
mobile command center. You can't really track us.
we're one of those. We're on those FEMA trailers.
We're
at the
nomadic.
moment.
We'll be in a different area next week.
Get them female trailers.
All right. Well, how about we go to
The Twicker tweet. Oh no, I mean
The
the
verdict.
spot.
Yeah, the verdict.
verdict?
Is that what it's called, Ravenshadow?
What?
Yeah, the part you talk.
The what is it?
The end.
The verdict?
The verdict.
Paul Newman, older man.
The boring part of the show where I'm not talking.
Oh, boy.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick
Or a tweet.
Trick or treat.
All right. MonsterZero, you kicked off the review. Why don't you go and let the folks know whether this film was a trick or a treat? And also, what's the bonometer?
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? This isn't on the level of, say, Robert Rodriguez, but the way Mary Death was photographed, I thought was done with a lot of class. Towards the end, I felt that it wasn't. I don't want, for lack of a better term, scandalous. I don't want to say that. What I mean to say is, well, you know what I mean. Well,
I for one, do not. I don't.
Robert Rodriguez, Stronas Seeks. I just throw out every movie reference I know. You just say all kinds of the words. I choke out that P. Brian Blair jabroni. The drifter, he's a jabroni. I make a merry death a humble.
Wow.
I'd make her humble. I would make her humble. I'd make her fucking humble till she bled.
Oh, my God.
I'd make her
Jesus.
fucking humble till she bled out of her ears.
Jesus Christ.
That's not nice.
But shut up. But the thing is, I mean, it's
like
the
you
way
did
she's
your own
photographed.
translation.
It's very, especially towards the end. You didn't really see anything. You didn't see any nudity on her or anything. You didn't see a tit, a nipple, or an ass. You didn't see any of that shit. But it was very classily photographed. Classily photographed.
Tasteful, I think.
Tastefully photographed. Whatever.
Yeah, it was tasteful. It's delicious.
But I had fun with this film. It's mindless fun. I mean, who cares? Treat. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
What was the bonometer?
Bonometer, I would say
Tasteful.
9.
Well, it's how many minutes you had a boner.
Oh, how many minutes? 90.
7.
And hold on, the runtime of this film
Yeah.
was hold on, I gotta go back here a couple. Runtime was 92 minutes.
90.
That movie was only 92 minutes.
Yeah,
That
it did
seemed
seem longer.
That can't be
Yeah.
right.
That movie should be 72 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes.
90
I
minutes.
think it was 78.
Dynamo.
There was a movie in, I want to say, let me check. I pulled it up here. 2010.
Oh,
2009.
2001. A Space Odyssey.
Yes, with the box.
It was called
The Box of the
It was called The
Monkeys.
Tournament, and that was kind of the direction that I was hoping that low budget action would be a few years later. It was really organic. It was like 99.9% practical effects, pooling on this great generation of stuntmen and stunt actors that we have. This movie kind of cemented to me that it's probably not going to happen, and it's going to go in this very CGI, sort of bastardized Robert Rodriguez sort of way. And that said, this was about as good as a movie could be in those parameters. There was enough I liked here that I would watch this movie again. I might even buy this movie on Walmart if I came across it for single digit amount of numbers,
Yeah.
But I almost want to call it a trick because I'm just disappointed that this is a genre I love. I love sci-fi. I love action movies. I love post-apocalyptic films. And I feel like this isn't like Gladiators 2020 or Turkey Shoot or any of those like bug shit crazy 70s like action films. This is something that felt very clean. And the Walmart thing that you brought really brought a lot of things to like the forefront of my understanding of how I felt, but wasn't able to articulate because I feel like this is how those movies I love look through that filter. So I'm gonna give it a treat because I think that you will have a good time watching this. In the, I started watching this this last night. So what time is it right now?
It's 11 p.m.
So we are almost at. The boner meter is at 23 hours. Because Mary Death, Mary Death did it for me, man.
Jeez.
I don't normally like that type of lady. I like the shorter hair. I like the
ones that look like boys.
the librarian. Yeah.
Adam's apple.
You tell me that the anything on the sexy librarian looks like a boy.
Under 5'3".
I'll tell you what. The only thing on the sexy librarian
Hobbits.
that looks like a boy is me.
She's so smart.
Ravenshadow.
That's debatable.
She's so smart.
That's not the translation. Is that what he's thinking?
Oh, is that we doing that bit?
yeah, you're supposed to read the translation.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. Do that again.
No, never mind.
All right.
Way to blow it.
Ledger says +1 for the B. Brian Blair reference.
Nice, thank you.
Yes.
I was hoping for a Greg the Hammer Valentine myself, but
Jay.
or a Pete Duke of Dorchester Dory.
Jay, why don't you go ahead and give your verdict?
I'm going to keep it short and sweet because I think we said a lot about this movie and maybe too much.
Yes.
I think it's a treat. I mean, I think it's right sort of in the middle there of, I don't know how you could say you hated this movie. I think it's a treat. What is it? A boner meter? What is it?
The bonometer.
Bonometer. Oh.
How long you've had a bone steady during this movie?
I'm in my 40s, so I'm just gonna say 0. I'm gonna say 0. I mean, she was hot and everything, but whatever. I mean, it's like
You got an internet connection.
yeah. I mean,
I like girls.
I mean,
I like girls and guns. I don't know.
no, that's fine. I mean, we all
With
you
garter
know,
belts on, man.
I
wearing
like
that outfit.
lollipops and butter
Right.
in my ass. That's just me. Some people call me a pervert, and I like to see people.
Some
fucking
people
on
call me
film.
Maurice.
The videotape tells the truth. Anyway, hope you got the reference. Anyway,
Ledger says thank you and good night.
I'm wondering if anybody got the reference, but if not, whatever, fine. Yeah, so I would say treat, and again, maybe one, maybe when she first, did some cool little rolling around on the hood of her car, or I think when she was fixing the car, it might have, maybe had like a half chub. So, like.
But that's because you like cars.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice car. It's a Charger. It's a beautiful car.
No, she's major fat material, man.
What?
Fat material?
was-
Fap.
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 What does fat mean?
Boys.
And what does that mean, MZ? Since
Fap?
you're the
Fap is the sound that you make when you're jerking off. That your hand makes on your shaft.
I was gonna say the
when
sound
you're
I
jerking
make
off.
is oh daddy, oh daddy, oh daddy, oh daddy.
Oh,
Don't
fap,
come in,
fap,
don't
fap,
come in,
fap.
don't come in.
I'm updating my website.
In a minute.
refresh.
No, man, no.
Quick, put Newsarama on.
The sound I make is what's the name of that girl who was in Bounty Killer, the blonde from Fall River? Well, let me see. Look her up on Facebook.
Rocky said that's the sound an old man's cock makes when the blue pills wear off as it hits your thigh.
I'm Irish, so I don't have any thigh hitting problems.
That's right. You're a grower, not a shower.
That's right. I did say that.
You did, yeah.
I did. So
yeah,
way
yeah.
to bring that back
Yeah.
from episode whatever.
Whatever,
something
man.
about.
Way back.
Episode before.
Oh, what is that from? Hey, people aren't going to be able to hear that. What is it?
I don't remember what it's from. What's funny is I just watched it the other day.
How'd you pull it up then?
I
Talk on the mic.
Is that them butter in your ass?
Sorry, yeah. That's why. And the first thing I got was shit butter, by the way. Yeah.
Butter in your ass? Is that good?
No, on YouTube.
Yeah.
You boob.
All right, Ravenshadow, you go while I'm looking this up.
All right. A lot's been said. A lot of pointing. I don't want to point fingers, but.
All right, hold on.
All right.
That I enjoy. Call me crazy, call me a pervert. But there's one little thing that I want to do in this
It's really bad audio quality, but
Yeah.
well,
It's from Boogie Nights.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I tell you, Boogie Nights, and it now that I say it out loud, it's going to sound stupid because, you know, I live with a woman, but Boogie Nights is a movie that gets played in my house, like, a lot.
What's wrong with that?
Well, there's nothing the matter with it. I don't love it. I think it's great, but
You
I
like
wouldn't
Roller
watch it
Girl?
as
I'm
much
going to
as
say a
Bong.
bold statement. Well, I'm not going to say it.
What?
I think you have to say it.
No, I'm going to wait.
okay.
Don't say it.
Shadow.
It's a fake penis, I think.
Ravenshadow.
Yeah. The only regret. I mean, it's
The
fine.
only regret
The only
your
regret
regret
is
was
Racist
making fun of
statements Bing bong, Bangkok, Hancock.
We talk about crazy like the fucking Shaw brothers. They're out of control.
Shaw brothers are out of control.
Jimmy and Janetti Shaw.
Dude, you're out of control.
They're nuts.
How much
The
money?
RZA and the Jizza.
Yeah, they're nuts.
How much money would the Iron Sheik and Michael Ravenshadow having a conversation be?
We gotta hang.
I choke out the Michael the Raven Shadows. He does not like my brothers, the slanty eyes, or my brothers that are the conniving Jews.
Whoa.
I give him the camel clutcher.
The views of Iron Sheik don't reflect Ravenshadow. I'll tell you that much. No. My only regret was that we didn't all watch it together. It's fun.
You keep it. Yeah, that's a big regret for you.
Yeah, no, I just like
Go back to the CryptoCast where he railroaded me into watching Aliens with him that time.
Yeah, that was fun. We had a good time.
Yeah, it was great. He told me girls were going to be there.
Yeah, they're coming. They're coming soon. They should be here any minute. No, like, if you like us, if you like us,
Who are you, Jay Leno?
I don't know. It was fine. It was fine. It was adequate. It was an adequate thriller.
Trick or treat.
It was a treat. And,
Finally.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Somebody get to the bottom of this.
20 minutes on the Benominator.
Wow, nice.
The Benominator.
Benominator.
Phenomenator. I nominate.
Benominator. Benominator.
It's the bonometer.
Yeah,
Benominator.
20 minutes.
How would you say boner meter?
Well, Bonometer, I guess.
Bonometer.
I just caught a look in the thing there of how I'm holding the microphone.
It's very sexual.
I like how my hands are crossed, like on the top there.
Ledger in the chat room says my list of regrets grows every Wednesday. All right, so I'm gonna say this was a tepid treat. I was sort of on the fence, going back and forth, but I think overall it's a fun movie, and it's just one of those sort of mindless movies. It's not going to make you think afterwards. Well, maybe some people thinking about Merry Death, but yeah, it's fun. I'm kind of curious to check out the comic book. Have you ever seen it, Ravenshadow? Like, I don't know if you can get it
No.
in normal shops. If
I'm
it was in
gonna do some
Walmart,
research.
yeah,
Only at Walmart available, probably. Yeah.
A Walmart exclusive.
yeah. So
We'll see if we
look
can
into
find
that.
it. I'm on it.
All right. So that's going to do it for our review of Bounty Killer. Thank you, Rocky, for recommending it. It was a fun view, and we all thought it was a treat. It's on Netflix Instant, so go ahead. Or streaming.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Holy
that was weird.
fuck. Don't bring that up.
No,
I was legit, I broke a pencil at my desk. I was legit pissed off.
All right, man. We really.
Oops.
What happened?
I
Hit
can't
the
believe,
promo too early.
I can't believe that I,
No, Johnny. We're trying to
people
find a movie.
fucking love him. The more stupid he is, people fucking love him.
We're trying to find a movie, and Johnny said it was on streaming.
Netflix streaming.
Yeah.
How do you watch Netflix?
Well, we always call it instant
How do you watch it, though?
on through my Wii.
You have a Wii?
Yeah.
His streaming Wii.
That explains a lot.
No, but we always call it's on instant. So I thought streaming was like fucking Twitter. Like, what the fuck? That's something different. Like, I just figured out streaming. Why? I mean, I just figured out instant.
Shut
Why
up.
hit me
This
with
is
streaming?
infuriating.
You're giving me a headache, dude.
Yeah.
It's a fucking
Be quiet.
hashtag. You know what I mean? Like, it's not.
It's not nuts.
It's like that. It's like hashtag # stream. So you guys out there, streaming is like instant. Same thing. You're fine.
So
You already pay
wait.
for one
When
service.
you go to Netflix
Yeah.
and you pick
I
to
gotta
watch
get
would you pick to watch a film?
Yeah.
What happens? It just like little Netflix
Fucking
goblins
magic.
appear and like act the movie out in the TV.
It's first thing I tell the kids, I'm like, hey, get off the fucking instant. Daddy's gonna watch something for this little radio show because we can only have 2 at a time.
Daddy.
Right, but where does it come from? Where's the movie come from?
The box.
It's mommy and daddy.
The box. Yeah. The white box.
Oberlin.
The Box.
Box.
So you're talking about 2001?
Yeah, the box.
The Box, the monkeys.
You opened it, we came.
Sure.
Last time Ravenshadow used Redbox, he needed penicillin.
One time that happened.
All right. So next week we are not sure what's going to happen just yet.
I may kill Ravenshadow.
I know exactly what's going to happen next week.
What's going to happen?
You guys are going to talk a bunch of shit about to each other, swear a lot, probably talk about a movie, but make several wrestling and comic book references. Dynamo will say something derogatory towards MonsterZero. MonsterZero will be like, I don't even know what you're talking about. The Ravenshadow will say, oh, Snoop. Tiny White will talk about keyboards a little bit. He'll make an interesting and lucid point about a film. And then, there'll be lots of bodily fluid references, rape, genocide, racism, and,
It's a good commercial.
You know us all too well. Yeah, that's going to be our new promo.
Then, wherever you are, that's where you go, right? Or whatever it is.
Right.
That's our new promo right there.
Yep, perfect. No need to tune in.
Speaking of movies, Ledger said, by the way, I saw The Edge of Tomorrow this weekend with the boys, and it was a lot of stupid fun.
When he says boys, does he mean his balls?
No, he has 2 boys.
What is Edge?
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
But
I love
yes.
those 2 guys. They're great.
With a Z?
boys, yes.
What
Like Biker Boys.
They wear
remember that movie?
Zubaz out to the movies,
What is
too.
Edge of Tomorrow?
That's the new Tom Cruise
Yeah.
vehicle with
Halo.
Halo meets Groundhog Day.
Nice.
Emily Blunt.
Who's that?
She's in that too.
That's a fake name.
She's the chick she's the girl that's not Tom Cruise.
Tall one.
That was actually really funny. I think all of us were like, should we laugh at that? 'Cause that's a really funny joke.
No,
And
it is.
that will give Ravenshadow.
Yeah,
So far, Ravenshadow's been like 0 for 50 tonight.
Yeah, that's a dangerous precedent. That's like a hitting streak just waiting to start off.
Yeah, I'm still pissed about streaming, so.
Rocky says, Ravenshadow likes a good stream, I hear, at the rest stop.
Yeah. One down, Rock.
Yeah, he said that to me about 20 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Just don't go through Millbury, whatever
Yeah.
happens. You'll never get out.
Ledger says, get off the instant. I need to watch my stories.
It's like that Nightmare on Elm Street movie where they just keep going around the block over and over again.
Ravenshadow thought when we brought up streaming, we were talking about MonsterZero soda machine.
All right, so next week, we actually have some irons in the fire. That's what I mean to say.
Shit, before we go, there's something
What?
important, because
What?
I think he's going to leave before the break.
Him?
He's already got his cans off and everything.
Yep.
Okay?
What the?
Last
What are you
week...
fucking? Who's the guy from the Heat?
What?
LeBron James. You're quitting on the show. You're quitting on the show
He's
right now.
LeBroning it.
Yeah, you're LeBron.
So last week,
Yeah.
I lent you 2 funny books to read.
Oh, yeah. Did you
Oh,
read
yeah.
them?
Yeah. I read them. Yep.
And?
Oh. They're all right.
They're all right. That's your review.
Yeah.
They're all right.
I didn't know I had to review them.
Yeah.
that was
That was the whole
Ah,
thing.
I
You
just
have to
read 'em.
read this for the show, was what he said.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. And then review them next
You
week.
have no right to say anything to anybody.
He's right. He's 100% right.
Listen,
You don't slam any judgment
You
on
have
anybody
no
in this room.
right to
I'm gonna fucking
tell
slam
him how he
everyone except for Jay,
feels.
because he's nice.
He has no right to
I like
speak to
him.
me so
What was that movie? The voodoo movie you didn't watch?
That was definitely about
Sugar Hill.
That's,
Sugar Hill.
75 episodes.
That's
ago,
because
so-
I
Yeah.
lost my streaming.
Yeah.
Then you get the blue pill, and as long as it doesn't wear out before you get
Yeah.
the FAP.
Yeah.
So, in any way, did that change like your expectations of what are possible in the content of comics?
Not really. I mean,
I got a
it's-
comic for him then read next week. Hold on a second.
I mean, I've seen graphic novels of that distinction before. It's nothing new.
No.
You know, just because I'm not a steady reader of them doesn't mean I don't know anything about them. I mean,
But I mean, that was kind of you were kind of the target audience. I was like that.
Oh no, I understand that. I understand that. And there was some pretty good scenes going on in that. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was.
And referentially.
All right.
Okay.
We have a gift.
Okay.
Another gift.
I want you to read this for next week for the special 100th episode.
Thank you.
What is it?
You know what? I had one of these once.
You have to say it in the mic.
Yeah. He just handed me over a copy of Back to the Future, the comic
Oh,
book,
Snoop.
Wow.
and Doc is like pimping it out with a black and
I
gold
thought it w-
striped suit.
I thought it was a Muppet comic. I would have been afraid what he would have done to that.
Nice.
Marty, we gotta get back to 1937.
We got those hoes back into the stable.
Oh my God. Harvey
Fuck that
Comics.
flapper girl, Marty.
This is not for resale. It's
Oh, wait.
$0 and
That's
0
right.
cents.
That's right. That's collectible.
KB.
That's right.
Word.
Wow.
I miss KB.
That's impressive. All right.
Well, you don't have to review it, but you know.
So we haven't picked a movie for next week because we may not review a movie. We have a lot going on, but knocking shit over in the studio. Speaking of Back to the Future.
In one
The
way or
DeLorean.
the other, not everybody's, but there is a small list of picks. And even if we don't do them as main reviews, I'll get to a bunch of those reviews. So
Well,
I'm
the
not
other
ignoring
thing,
anybody.
let me bring this up. So our good friend, we'll let the cat out of the bag here. Our good friend Steven Scarlatta, who is the producer of Jodorowsky's Dune. Am I saying it right?
I think Jodorowsky said it different a couple times.
Yeah. So Jodorowsky's Dune. He was the producer of that, and the film will be coming out on Blu-ray soon. I believe it's July 8th, if I remember correctly. But a bunch of us actually went to go see it in the theater, and we wanted once we saw the film, we wanted to talk to Steven again. So we were trying to get Steven on for episode 100, but scheduling conflicts. He's working on a movie. And we're going to do that sometime in July. So he also gave us a couple film recommendations for the month of June. So what we're going to do is we're going to take his recommendation and we're going to do a show in July sometime. So we're going to review his film. I think we're going to do Brain Scan.
Brain Scan, that's the slasher movie with Rocky Dennis.
So we're going to review Brain Scan. We're going to talk to Steven Scarlatta. That'll happen in July. So that's really... We're hoping to do that for 100, but scheduling conflicts came up, so that's going to be in July. So
couldn't we just do like .99 for this, like .99
No,
for
no.
199?
we have some things going. There's some emails waiting to be replied to. There's some stuff out there. So as soon as we find out what's going on for episode 100, we'll post about it just so we can build some excitement. Hopefully there is some excitement. But there you go. So Steven Scarlatta will be joining us in a few weeks. We'll be talking about Brain Scan, be talking about Jodorowsky's Dune. I can't wait to talk about it because we saw it, and I'm really excited to discuss it again. So
Hopefully the DVD release is in July, so maybe...
the blue,
Yeah, blue. Maybe I'll have it.
I think it's July 8th, if I remember correctly. So
Because I love Steven Scarlatta.
Ledger remembers those comics. He said they were made for the animated show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. And Christopher Lloyd did the
Voice?
No. Well, he did the voice, yeah, but he also did the live action.
It was like a
segment.
wrap-around, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of animated things, I swore I wasn't going to bring this up because I thought it was going to be another one of those dumb things, like everything I say that doesn't end up being anything. But I woke up thinking about the weirdest fucking thing that I never would have thought I would have remembered. Does anybody remember the CBS cartoon Meatballs and Spaghetti?
Yes.
No.
Nope.
It was like about
Why?
like a meatloaf-looking rocker and like his I don't remember, it was his girlfriend. I remember the fucking theme song was in my head when I woke up this morning. Hey, are you ready for meatball spaghetti?
Nope, I don't remember. Sorry.
That's it.
Yeah, I fucking woke up. I'm looking it up.
And you have that in your head when you woke up?
Not Mary, whatever her name was.
J. Blige?
Mary Death.
Hey, I'm blasting out of here.
What? See you later, LeBron Zero.
LeBron Zero.
I'm blasting
Mary
out.
Death, and he's like, I'm busting out of here.
Oh, wait, is this it, Dynamo?
I can't hear it.
I don't think
Oh,
so.
that's a children's nursery rhyme.
No.
That Remember Kid Video? That was my joint.
Put your headphone. I'm not doing that.
I don't remember Kid Video.
Yeah, it was the live action. The kids go in like a video world and they rocked out. They were like a synth band. You'd have liked it.
I fucking hate you. I'll come over there and show you streaming.
Someone wore suspenders.
Who wore suspenders?
The fucking guy with the synths.
Your beard's looking good too. You got a good look going from like here up right now.
From here up.
Yeah.
That phonometer is going to just
I
stay
know.
over 24 hours. As Mary Death starts to,
Thanks, man.
droop down a little bit.
When you're done fapping it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think. Wait, you don't fap it.
Well, it is a verb.
You bop it. You twist it. You turn it.
You bing bong it.
Bong it.
You big bong.
You Bangkok
Big,
it.
big bong Bangkok.
You Hancock to Bangkok. Konobishimano.
Nah, I'm getting out of here.
All
I'm
right,
getting
man.
out of
No,
here.
you're going to listen to Meatballs and Spaghetti
No, fuck
song.
your meatballs.
No, put your headphones on.
I'm getting out of here. I'm done.
Fuck your meatballs.
Fuck your meatballs.
That's the promo for next week.
Fuck your meatballs.
Fap your meatballs.
Bong your meatballs. Bing bong.
Big bong Bangkok.
Bop your meatballs. All right, no, I'm out of here. And no, episode 100, man. Oh, it's gonna be sweet. I can't wait.
I can wait.
Awesome.
Are you gonna do
I
a-
can't wait.
You going to do a list?
Maybe, I don't know.
All
Did you
right.
throw this out
But
for me?
I'll tell you this much. Yeah, sure. But I'll tell you this. I'll be here for the entire show next week.
Whoa! Check that out. That's why he has to go right now. All right, go.
All
so you
right,
can make it over.
arrivederci, douchebags.
Is this it?
I think so.
Oh, what?
What the fuck?
Hold on.
Oh.
I got
Hold
meat
on.
blue balls.
It's streaming. The streaming's broken.
Hold on. I'm gonna.
Blue meatballs.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna give us a little breathing room here.
Oh.
I feel really dirty today. It's terrible.
Because you're on that mic. Remember what we did last time to that mic?
No, I feel dirty because I didn't take a shower today.
Didn't Psycho Patrick
Or
put
a
his,
bath.
put his balls on the mic or something?
That
But
one?
this shirt is still stuck
Remember
to
that
the hairs in my stomach.
All
That
right.
was it, though. I think.
Yeah, I'll find a better version of it. And I'll play it when we get back from break. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back to
Let's have a quick show.
do some
wait.
other crazy stuff. All right, we'll be right back.
Let's have a quick show.
The following message is a paid
let's
advertisement
have a
for
quick
the Cult
show.
of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk. Their past glory is a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips. The beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the Cult of Muscle.
Hello, darlings. It's your favorite whiskey-drinking, litigious, singing, dancing fantasy girl. Want to reach out to me and the world's greatest monster-hunting multimedia organization, the Deadites? Log on to Facebook.com/The Deadites. It's got all the info you need to follow the world's greatest monster hunting band, like live appearances, info on your favorite Deadite, music, and all the links you need to our new weekly multimedia and all our side endeavors. Too many letters on Facebook? That's okay, sugar. Just follow us on Instagram and Twitter @The Deadites. Hope to see you soon, and we'll leave the lights off.
that it, Dynamo?
No, I don't think so. Oh, maybe. Yeah, it looks like him. I think I just came in a weird part.
Oh.
That's fucking awesome. That's fucking great.
All right, well, we just got gifted
Oh my God.
a shitload of stuff. So
Yeah.
Jay just gave us all presents. He gave us, there's a box of comic books
Yeah.
in there, Ravenshadow. It's got Robin.
The untold
The young,
legend of Batman,
the young Robin.
which is something that I've always. This is a.
Robin 2, Electric.
Bro.
I don't know what that is. It was $1.50 when it came out, though.
Which is probably expensive.
Yeah.
It's a number one, whatever that means.
This era, Robin for a while was selling like Wolverine.
Yeah, it was
like,
crazy.
Robin 1 like sold out like a Aparo.
Like he had like 3 miniseries that had like alternate.
Covers, yeah, holograms.
Rocky says he wishes to get stoned and naked and nest in Ravenshadow's chin, but I digress.
Yeah, come on over, brother.
What?
The fucking bottle
Rocky
flow.
did?
Yeah. Dynamo, why don't you open your
How
present?
he's pulling that out.
Dynamo, open your present.
Oh my God, this is amazing. Oh my God, this is. Oh my God, this is amazing.
Is it the album?
Well, it is the original motion picture soundtrack.
Wow.
The most comprehensive version available for the first time ever on vinyl. This is amazing. This is beautiful. Thank you so much. I really don't know what to say, Jay.
And notice how he didn't say what the movie was.
Oh, John Carpenter. John Carpenter's Halloween. Everyone knows that it's one of my favorite films of all time, made by arguably my favorite director of all time.
All right, so here Jay got I'm opening. It looks like a poster. It's a Man of Steel poster.
You did like that movie, right?
He loved it.
I did,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. I was
No,
gonna
this is
say,
pretty
'cause-
fantastic.
Yes, no, okay, because I know that Wolfie was a I believed, I thought it was a big fan of that film.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
A champion,
And
some
I
would say.
was also, and so
This is very cool. I
And
didn't realize it was Henry Cavill. I couldn't. That's why I wasn't sure if it was from that.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's,
And
this is pretty awesome.
And again, not that it's like a huge deal, but that's one of them. That's one of them Mondo posters.
Yes.
So,
wow.
And again,
Thank you so
guys
much,
can
Jay.
swap,
This
I
is
don't
awesome.
care, whatever.
No, this is amazing.
I'm not
He's like, no, I don't want to. Dynamo didn't see this movie. He won't see it. So.
You can have Robin 2 comics instead.
Where'd Ravenshadow go?
I don't know. He just left. Maybe he wanted. He's sad.
He didn't like his Magnum PI cards.
This is
Well,
incredible.
I've obviously known you two,
Yeah.
Since
way too long.
Since we were all young children.
Yeah.
So, again.
I'm making a lot of noise here. That's okay.
It's
though.
okay. It's
Yep.
good.
All right, show's over, Shakespeare.
That's spectacular, right
Yeah, that's a really cool
Just,
poster.
a little something for me, I mean, this is stuff we can talk about on air.
Yeah.
The stuff I'll give you
This-
off air.
Needs penicillin.
Yeah. You need a shot afterwards.
Yeah.
I just read there's this great comic magazine called Back Issue, and it's kind of the only magazine that gets into what a lot of the film zines do. Like, it really breaks down like a lot of these comics and creators. And there was a 3-month run of Batman in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, each issue. And one of the main stories was about this untold legend. Like Ravenshadow was saying off air, it was canon for a while. But then something happened. This in a Batman story called Son of the Demon? No.
Yes.
Oh, Son of the Demon.
Was
right.
It was later on retconned to be an Elseworld.
Right.
And then Grant Morrison, essentially what we're talking about was a one-shot, real graphic novel.
Mike Barr, I think.
Mike W. Barr.
Yeah.
Somebody else awesome. But it ended up about being Ra's al Ghul wanted to take Batman under his wing. He was knocking down boots with Talia, and Talia Batman was not her dad.
Yeah, I hope not. Please,
I mean, he's fucking immortal.
Wouldn't Batman take Ra's al Ghul under his wing? Because Batman had the wings.
Well, it's a cape. It's not really a Batman.
But
it's a name.
it's okay.
But at the end of the day, Talia gets pregnant. Bruce thinks that Talia loses her baby in a battle in an assault on Ra's al Ghul's complex. But the last page has a young child being brought to an orphanage. So you're thinking that there really is a son of Batman out
Right.
there.
Mhm.
Years later, Damian came into the picture. But the book that Dynamo has deals with the fact the first time that Thomas Wayne was the first Batman.
Right.
He wore a bat suit at a
Costume
party.
party.
It deals with the mechanic that Bruce saved that built all his Batmobiles. Like great Jim Aparo art. That little book right there was fucking very important to a young Ravenshadow.
Rev, who apparently is either independently wealthy or the evil streaks have a much better guarantee than we do, has been like snapping up first things that Frank Miller did. It's one of those times I wish the mics were rolling because we had a really interesting chat back and forth. I don't even know if the Rev was involved, but like it was based on he had got the first Frank Miller Batman art.
Sorry, just showing Ravenshadow. He didn't see the poster.
That's fucking cool. That's fucking nice, man.
We were commenting on how Frank Miller at that time looked a little bit like his Batman was a little bit Jim Aparo, and it was a little bit Davis.
Alan Davis.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
Warwick?
Yeah, Warwick W. Davis. And how interesting that was that DC has come full circle, that it used to kind of be a mill. Like when something was working, they wanted everybody to draw that way.
Yeah.
And they wanted all the stories to be structured that way. Now, after they were kind of the company in 84, 85, that like elevated comics to somewhere where it hadn't been before, they are right back to that now. They're right back to that sort of kind of single-minded thinking. That's making, I mean, MonsterZero is probably a poor example, but like making people that don't read comics think comics are a certain way. Like imagine if you've never picked up a comic and read Joff Jones and
Jeff Johns.
Jay Lee. Jay Lee.
Jay Lethal.
Fap Jones.
Jay Lee. Jay Lee. See that how I did that? I had to get that in, and haven't said it in about 40 episodes.
What Jay Lee did Justice League.
Justice League.
Yep.
If you picked up that thing and like that is exactly what you think comic books are. If you hate comic books,
Yeah.
like Batman in Green Lantern. Green Lantern makes a green jet to fly Batman, and Batman word balloon. Hey, I'm in a green jet.
That's weird.
Yeah, like it was just really, really bad. But this was one of the things when the wall started to break down. You had guys like Denny O'Neil and Lin Wein. John Byrne is in this. Like really trying to do quality stuff and really taking like an author's view of it. And then you had guys like Will Eisner, who was at that really being an author, elevating the medium, pushing the guys who were in the commercial thing to like a brand new level. It was a really, really, really exciting time for comics. And like Frank Miller, Alan Moore, all these guys that came out of it that were like just commercial guys. Like, Miller was a pay-by-page guy. And he happened to be writing Daredevil because somebody had left. Only 2 years before the probably single most important superhero book in comic book history came out.
Speedball.
Speedball, yeah.
Speedball 1, which outrageously
Steve Ditko.
drawn by Steve Ditko.
Yeah.
Like Steve Ditko crawls out of his weird old man hole to author Speedball.
It's like, hey, will you draw Spider-Man again? Fuck no. I'm drawing this fucking Speedball guy.
What did he say to Mike Allred? That it wouldn't be personally fulfilling to draw.
I
to
don't
draw.
see
Oh
anything.
Yeah.
That he can get
into
out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have Jay in studio here. Jay, why don't you talk about some films?
Ooh.
You want to talk about some films? Anything you've seen lately that you're really digging that we should
like movies.
Yeah, you hate them.
I don't.
You're
I have a really.
You probably don't
hard-
want to
I have-
talk about them though.
No, I really don't. I have a hard time, like being put on the spot like that. So talk about a movie.
I have a question for you.
Well, it'd be a conversation.
Yeah. I have a question that
I mean, I could certainly talk more about movies than comic books. Cause
Sure.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to.
That's why I brought a whole box of comic books over and been like, here, you guys might like these because I read these when I was like 12, but I don't know what's in them.
What's funny is I think that you would actually, we're at a period right now where I feel like somebody who is like a real cinema fan would like the funny books a lot because some of the independent books are written by people who are like real. In the same way that like good independent film right now is referential and not a pretentious way.
Read.
Yes.
I have a question about a particular film. Actually, it just popped up onto Netflix streaming. No, that's the one you don't get.
Oh wait, shit!
You get instant.
Yeah, you
How
get
much does
instant.
that cost? I'm already buying one motherfucking service.
I don't know.
Don't ask him about Hulu Plus.
Yeah, hula hoop. Bang bong, hula hoop.
Bing bong, Bangkok.
I don't know if you've seen this film, Jay. Blue is the warmest color. Have you seen?
I have not seen that.
No,
movie.
okay.
No, that
It
is
just-
a film. Yeah, that is.
A bit controversial. It popped up onto Netflix
It's
recently.
controversial because there's like lesbians in it. That's
Right.
not controversial
Really?
though. That's one of those
Look, he's going. Wait, can I? Where can I get
It's
streaming?
got subtitles.
Yeah, you got to read.
Yeah.
Fucking read.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
What's it
Did you get
I have
streaming?
not seen that
I don't
movie
know.
though.
I made a note. My notes. Look that up.
Now I'll give you two movies.
Okay.
That are fucking awesome
Yep.
with the word blue in them.
Okay.
One is Blue Ruin.
Oh yes, which you actually, when I saw you last time, you were going to check out that weekend, and I didn't get a chance to come back.
Great
yeah.
movie that I would highly recommend.
It actually
to
played in
anybody.
Providence a couple weeks ago.
Blue Ruin, independent film.
Yep.
Small little cameo by Eve Plum, who was Jan Brady in the movie. Fucking great.
That's on our list to review.
Indie
So.
revenge movie, so go out and watch that.
Yep.
The second one is a film, so that's a fairly new movie. The second one's probably from 3 or 4 years ago. Another independent film, another independent revenge kind of thriller called Red, White, and Blue, which is also Simon Rumley is the director of that movie.
Yep.
Great. I mean, again, independent, slow burn movies.
That movie,
Drama, almost bordering on straight drama as opposed to revenge.
I
or-
didn't see because I felt like it was going to ruin my day.
It's masterful though.
Yeah.
And what's great about it is there's so much subtext built into sort of this simplistic revenge story that just masterful. So there's two movies with the
All
word
right.
blue
Well,
that
there
I
it
have
is.
seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ravenshadow hates movies with subtext because he thinks he has to read more.
Yeah, but what the fuck?
This could be fun. I found this earlier while we were doing the film review, and I wanted to come back to it.
Yeah.
Dynamo.
Yeah, man.
There's a poll. Which Ryan Gosling character are you?
Whoa.
So here, you most likely love him or want to be him. So now's your chance to declare which one of his characters you are, or you want to F him, like in Dynamo's case.
I'm the one from Crazy Stupid Love with all the chicks. that
Well,
like him.
here, Julian from Only God Forgives. He's troubled and immoral.
Not him.
Jacob Palmer from Crazy Stupid Love,
That's
confident and sexy.
That's him.
That's him. Luke from Place Beyond the Pines, reckless and headstrong.
Never saw that.
Sergeant Jerry Wooters from Gangster Squad, determined and flirtatious.
Never saw that.
Noah from The Notebook, passionate and hardworking.
That's the only movie of his that I fucking hate.
The driver, of course, from Drive, quiet and dangerous.
That's not me on any level. I'm not quiet.
No, not the
I'm-
quiet.
I'm not driving anywhere.
Yeah.
The passenger.
Yeah.
Dean from Blue Valentine, romantic but volatile.
I didn't like that either. That's
No,
two of
there's
his movies
two.
I didn't like. Yeah.
There's another.
It looked
now,
good.
There's another movie with blue. I would
Yes.
say go out and see immediately.
That's a good one, yeah?
Oh fuck yeah!
That's
I
one of
haven't
my
seen it.
special lady friend.
Oh.
My only special lady friend.
Whoa.
That's
Spoiler alert.
that's one of her
Editors,
favorites.
we're gonna need you to cut at 11:39.
Going live sucks. Is that the one when like it's like he's married and they fucking are always fighting?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can go home for that. I don't fucking.
Yeah.
Need that. I want. Give me a fucking lightsaber up in this motherfucker. I don't want to see.
That made me sad a little bit when you just said that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't need that.
All right. Stephen Myers from The Ides of March, idealistic and smart.
Like how I was supposed to pick now? I forget like what.
I know.
what
There's
was the
so
guy from
many.
Crazy Stupid Love again?
There's a few more. Lars Lindstrom from Lars and the Real Girl, introverted and a bit delusional.
The end of that might be me.
Willie Beecham from Fracture, successful but arrogant.
Never even heard.
That
of
was a
it.
good fucking movie, believe it or not.
Dan Dunn from Half Nelson, idealistic with self-afflictive troubles.
I say the Crazy Stupid Love one.
All right, and lastly, Richard Haywood from Murder by Numbers, cool and menacing. Crazy Stupid Love, you think?
Yeah,
confident and sexy.
Yeah, not to
What are we talking about? What are we even talking? What is this?
Most people voted for one. For number one was The Driver.
What does the chat think? Obviously, probably Crazy Sexy Librarian.
She's no longer here.
No, because she passed out from my dulcet sounds.
No, she has to physically click the button to leave.
No. Well, maybe her head fell on the button.
All right, never
She
mind.
probably
That
wrote
was-
it on her underwear and her pick. And
I'm sure, yeah. All right, so that's
what
enough
one?
about that.
What one are you, Johnny?
I don't know. I wasn't even paying attention.
You
I was
read
just
'em.
reading for you.
I'd say the first one.
Troubled and Immoral. I don't know. Ravenshadow, any of these jump out at you?
Yeah, the Troubled and Immoral one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. Take off the fucking dress.
Take off the fucking dress.
I like that movie.
Man, that movie's perfect, though. I love it.
Jay, did you like Only God Forgives?
Yes.
Yes. That's the short answer.
I fucking love that movie. That movie
I did
was
too,
genius.
yeah. I agree.
I watched it a few times since. I think I like it more than one. I can't remember what I said when we reviewed it, but I think I know I liked it more than when we.
The beautiful thing is, it's recorded. You can go back and remember whenever you want.
That's right. You can go
Only
back
God
and listen.
Forgives,
Shit.
episode 70.
Contrary
Oh,
to popular
shit.
belief, I can't stand my own voice, so I seldom listen to anything I don't have to. And I could stand Ravenshadow.
I'll give you another movie just popped into my head because it is a movie that I'm not sure if it's out quite yet around here. I know it's open in New York and I know it opened in L.A. and I think in Austin and Chicago and it might have hit Boston area. But I highly recommend. Very weird, very quirky, very strange. But the movie is called Borgman.
Borg?
Borgman.
Borg.
Yes.
I've heard of that.
I believe it's I want to say it's Belgian, but it might be Danish. But it is a great movie. Just really creepy, but creepy, and it's a home invasion movie, but sort of just like a guy shows up at a house, and it's not like he's menacing and sort of beating people up. He's just kind of there and sort of slowly infiltrates the household. And it's just, if you've ever seen like a Michael Haneke film combined with Dogtooth, if you ever saw that movie, the Greek film. So again, you have to read that one, so you stay away from that one.
Yeah, read that.
But that's one that if it comes out near you, you should run immediately and go see Borgman. And then if you hate it, you can say that guy Jay doesn't know what he's talking about. But I loved it. It was a great movie. It's really great.
Cool. Check that out.
Yeah.
Borgman.
So.
Jay, we talked briefly about this, but last time we hung out, we got to see the. Well, you had seen it already, but the strange color of your body's tears.
Yes. The best movie I've seen in Toronto in 3 years.
And I'm hoping when that becomes available, we can review it on the show because that's going to be a doozy, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Giallo version of Beyond the Black Rainbow. That'll be what that will be.
Yeah.
That is the what Beyond the Black Rainbow did to sci-fi.
Yes.
Strange Colors of Your Body's Tears will do for the Giallo film.
You love that movie, right, Ravenshadow?
Yeah, it was fucking
Beyond the Black Rainbow.
Yeah, it was fucking. I don't want to talk about it.
I think that's coming out in September. I think
I was Beyond the Blue Ribbon
Okay.
at that point.
I think that's when it's slated to be finally released.
Nice.
So that
Beyond
might
the
be a
Black.
good October movie for you guys.
Well, lots of color going on here. Strange color of your body's tears. We're talking about Beyond the Black Rainbow.
Oh, shit. Green
Blue
Lantern.
Ruin.
Beyond the Black Rainbow.
Bing Bong.
Big Bong.
Bing Bong Bangkok Surprise. I think Beyond the Black Rainbow is on Instant.
It still is, yes. That's where we saw it,
Beyond
actually.
the Black Ringo. What's that movie?
Yeah,
Did we watch it on
that's the
Instant?
combined
Yeah.
between the Asian sci-fi Beyond the Black Ringo.
Yeah,
Oh,
Oh.
that'd be the Beatles one. I guess that'd be English.
Oh shit!
Ledger said he has to run. He says, "Got to run, kids. Look for a special Ravenshadow picture tomorrow."
Nice.
Don't fucking post shit. Like that. All right, listen,
Please
I don't
do.
need that.
Please do, Ledger.
I don't need that.
I
Tag him so his family sees it.
I have a question for everybody at the table. And every time I watch an action film, it's really it bridges on all I can think about. Like I have to like really kind of center myself to get into like an action movie right now. Do you guys? I feel, and what do you guys take on it? That not in a pop culture way, because not enough people saw it, so it's not important enough to Hollywood. But I feel like the Raid films have almost ruined action for me.
I have not seen Raid 2 yet.
What the? What
well,
are you doing? You're watching Bounty Killer and you haven't seen the Raid 2?
It played for like a week, and then I had plans to go see. What did I saw the.
Did you see Godzilla?
I did.
Did you see?
I saw the Labyrinth, and I saw Dark Crystal. They had a double feature at the Brattle, and they went to go see Raid 2 when I bought tickets in advance, so I didn't get a chance to go.
Oh,
and then it was gone. Boom.
That's a shame.
I could.
The last fight scene in the Raid 2 might be
outrageous.
The greatest
fight
ever.
Scene
ever put on film.
And like even the chase scene?
From an emotional standpoint, from a technical standpoint, from everything, it is masterful.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly want to see it, and I imagine I don't even know if it bears reviewing because, I mean, I'm sure it'll just be like, like a snore fest because we'll just be heaping praise upon it for an hour.
There's a car chase in the Raid 2 that is everything that the car chase in Bounty Killer was not. Like I really felt like.
Have you guys ever seen The Good, the Bad, and the Weird?
Yep.
Yeah, we reviewed that one. Yeah,
okay.
Love it.
All right,
yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you because that's what all I could think of in that car chase scene in Bounty Killer was that's the scene in The Good, the Bad, and the Weird where they're chasing him through the desert. Now that's a chase scene in the desert
beautiful.
with
Yeah,
horses and cars and guns.
Isn't it like a 20-minute long chase scene too?
Yeah. Well, every action sequence in that movie is like 22 minutes.
I will never try to say his name, but like I adore that director.
That's Bing Bong Hancock.
That's
Hancock, right?
That's how it sounds when I say it. Anyway.
I always get them confused. Is that Park Chan-wook or is that
No.
It's the other.
Park Chan-wook did Stoker and Old Boy.
That's okay. Yeah.
Bing Bong
June.
Bong.
This is why we shouldn't try.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm the fucking asshole.
The guy did Good, the Bad, and the Weird.
He
and
made
I saw
the Devil
that
and
guy
Foul
makes
King.
Good fucking movies.
Yeah.
And he has a great car chase in that movie too. I saw the Devil.
Sure.
Great car chase.
But I found his movie Foul King. I was at
Kim Ji-woon.
Chiller Theater in New Jersey, and I happened to have a wrestling shirt on, and I was buying at that time, maybe like 2008, and I was getting every little bit of McKay stuff that I could. McKay, sorry, because it wasn't. You couldn't go to Walmart and get the edition. And like the guy's like, oh well, you like wrestling, and you're like, he honestly said Asian movies. You'll probably like this, and I'm like, yeah, I'll check out the Foul King, and I loved it, and like I didn't think anything else of it, and then I saw the Devil, and was like, oh my god, it's the same fucking guy, like.
I think I have the Foul King on.
It's terrific
on DVD. Actually,
he did The Last Stand too, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't confused at all until we did Snowpiercer, and then everyone that was in. Like there are 3 actors in Korea, and they're all in these movies because like then I started to get confused.
Yeah, and Snowpiercer was Jun-ho, the host, and Memories of Murder,
which I've never seen. I've always wanted.
But so your thesis is that the Raid films, specifically the Raid 2,
both
ruined action,
have sort of ruined. And I would say, I think I thought that. I think I thought that the first time I saw that movie, Chocolate. I thought, how could you?
Oh yeah,
that's
ridiculous.
Action movie than this movie
with Johnny Depp?
No,
yes.
Not Chocolate.
No.
Fucking the action in that. That is some action right there.
Shit, I missed
Is
out.
it bold of me to say that I would rather be with Juliette Binoche than with the woman from Bounty Killer? Is that
No.
bold of me? Is that a
No.
bold statement?
It's fair.
Because I feel like I would rather, if I had to like choose one, I'd go with Juliette Binoche.
Hey, Ravenshadow, check this out. Chocolate on streaming
Oh yeah,
right now.
That's a movie.
Yeah.
I'll give you. Here's a
Check it
movie
out. It's
maybe
awesome.
You haven't seen. You want to see a great action movie? I want to say it's early 2000s. Might be late 90s, but I think it's early. It's a movie called Born to Fight.
Oh yeah.
Born to the Olympic, the Korean, the Indonesian Olympic team goes to a village in Thailand, and they're like being taken over by some militant group, so they have to use their Olympic skills to like fight people.
Nice.
And it is as I would argue as good as any. Now again, I putting it up against the Raid or the Raid 2, I don't know, but
Is it better than Jim Cava?
Jesus Christ.
Now what was that? What was that? Speaking of Olympic movies, what was that one with the gymnasts? Gretzky's wife and.
Don't know.
Okay, not the Cutting Edge, but
No, that's a fucking
Born to
movie.
Fight. There's one if you can find. If you're looking for a good action film from the early 2000s that I think would probably hold it, because again, when you guys are even talking about the Seventh Curse, like even though there's a different type of action, different years, different styles, I mean, I think even a movie like that sort of holds up in some ways in its action to the Raid. So
Sure.
that's why I think
right
this now he clearly is pushing the envelope in terms of what kind of action you can put on screen. That's sort of like exciting and innovative and invigorating and kind of lifts the story above the kind of the triteness of it.
Sure.
But also still feels real and sort of feels gritty and raw, and because it's not so choreographed that it's like, oh, this is so completely fake.
Right.
People do seem like they're getting hurt.
Sure.
Or the character, at least, even if it's controlled, still very much seems like he's just kind of trying to stay alive. He's not necessarily like being, I'm the greatest fighter in the world, so that's how I'm going to beat you. Again, with that aside, the last fight in the Raid 2 is
incredible.
So the guy who directed Born to Fight also directed Ong Bak 2 and 3.
Yes. It is pretty stellar, and it's great because it's like dudes like throwing soccer balls up in the air and then like kicking them at people's heads, and I mean, and doing gymnastics and now Bangkok Knockout.
That's another. Yeah, I was just seeing that's another one of his films.
That movie was awful.
It's funny.
That woman, she made Chocolate, and after that, I think every movie that she's been in has been increasingly worse.
That's too bad.
Same with what's his name there, Tony Jaa.
Tony Jaa, yeah.
His last Protector 2. Oh,
I have a Tony Jaa movie that he's not even really in too long. It's one of his earliest films that I bought it. I was with Wolfie, actually. This kid was having a meltdown at the fucking counter at the Barnes & Noble, and it was the most amazing thing that I've ever seen in my life. And if it wasn't for this kid, I wouldn't have looked down and saw that this movie was part of a 4-pack. And I'm struggling right now to remember the name of, like, there were three of these movies, like, and it's like supposedly the way they sold it when I had heard about it was Tony Jaa was almost like Michael, like it was like Tony Jaa versus Jason Voorhees in like the jungle, but he was only in it for a few minutes. But that was like the kind of punchline.
But yeah, see, look at this girl's badass bad. Raging Phoenix, the first 20 minutes or so, really good. And after
I've heard
that, it just gets decreasing worse and worse.
I heard Raging Phoenix was okay.
Yeah, it's again the first 20, 25, half an hour, somewhere in there.
Spirited Killer.
Spirited Killer, and I think it kind of goes to what Dynamo was saying last week in particular, but also this week about the thing about Chocolate that was so like eye-opening, and I think it was the same with the Raid. It's the same with the Raid 2 is, I think it does harken back to when you would watch a movie like, the car chase in French Connection.
Right.
Where, like, there's a real element of danger, even though they're doing it controlled, and even though there's they're jumping something with a car, that, like, somebody's jumping something with a car,
right.
And there is an element of danger here. And in these Indonesian movies in particular, especially Chocolate, I mean, these people falling off 4-5-story buildings, you
right.
know, and you kind of go, oh shit. I mean, that was the Jackie Chan thing too,
Right.
right? Like you see Jackie Chan, and it's what elevated his films to a certain level.
Yeah,
when
it's
he
what
broke
made
out
the
of
like
martial arts sort of angle.
It's what kind of made the Gold Harvest stuff a little different than
Yeah.
the Shaw Brothers stuff. Is there was like a weight to the violence.
Yeah, and it's what's interesting is it's what made Woo's films unique in the late 80s and early 90s because he wasn't doing the, look, our guys are really jumping and doing all these crazy things that were like they're going to get killed. He did it in a controlled way, and there was still an element of risk.
Right.
But he did it in such a balletic way, and sort of lifted it to sort of say this is almost like fantasy. We're sort of we're giving it this air of sort of I don't know if lucidity is the right word or so those movies became almost like a weird dream-like quality of action, right? All of his films,
Right.
sort of dreamy and ethereal. And,
Woo's a good example. I think that Tarantino is a great example, and Giraffe Evans, whose name I'm not even gonna try to say because when I come
Gareth
close,
Evans.
I juxtapose it with the Godzilla director, and that's not what I want to do.
Yeah, but they have the same name. It's Gareth. It's not
they,
Giraffe.
They are all three are directors. And this hasn't happened yet with Evans, but it's going to. Like he's one. I feel like he's one thing just to break away that it's going to happen where film directors, not necessarily mainstream, probably even more so low budget film directors, cannibalize their work, but don't understand what's good about it, and like then you get from, when Tarantino hits Jackie Brown. Everyone else is giving us, maybe the cream of the crop of it is Boondock Saints, I guess, which I'm not a giant fan of, but like at the end of the day,
No, clearly not. You put it down to Ravenshadow Bunch.
douchebag Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah,
but no, it's what I don't. No, again, it's another favorite of my special lady friend, and it's on at the Cool Kids Cave a lot. And there is stuff that I do like about it, fetishes-wise. For me, I like when everyone, like I like that there's like a knife guy. I like there's a Rodriguez element of it where it has that Warriors kind of thing where he doesn't just waste it with thugs. There's like specialized thugs and stuff. But I feel like in the dialogue and the way that it's shot, a lot of what makes Tarantino awesome is entirely lost. It's like doing a cover song without actually feeling the pain or the hurt or whatnot. Like, good example is when Johnny Cash covered Hurt by Nine Inch Nails. Johnny Cash probably hurt 10 times more than Trent Reznor ever did and really puts that song over. Like, every syllable, you feel it. Like, every little thing about it. And this is an aging Johnny Cash, probably hurting him to sing the song. When you look at for lack of a better way to put the subtext in, say, Pulp Fiction, where the people were kind of conscious. They weren't conscious that they were in a movie. They were, in my opinion, gangsters that maybe happened to be film fans. Like, the fact that it made them almost look silly was lost. The fact that their posturing wasn't put in, like, almost a positive light was lost for the most part. Or when you get Jules' speech and he looks badass, you see him at the diner. And you see him with blood in his hair. You see him, like, with egg on his face a little bit. That stuff's all lost. And I'm afraid what's going to suck about The Raid is that where every director in the world can buy, a 45, a silencer, and a black tie, like, there aren't so many people that can perform on that level. So I feel like we're going to get a lot of very, very flaccid martial arts films in the next couple of years. Because, like, what's good about The Raid, what raises it above, is more than the action even, Like, even though I didn't understand it when I first saw it, that first 5 minutes of The Raid is really what makes that whole movie. Like, so when you turn around and, like, try to duplicate that, I feel that you're not going to get it as filmmakers.
It's also, I certainly mostly agree with you, but it also is a matter of taste. Some people, may like their action a little differently, So that's
Like porn.
Right.
Hey.
Just saying, that's action, right?
They want something to fap to, you know.
Yeah.
Let's not say fap. I think it just sounds,
Yeah, that was a weird thing.
That's a weird.
Yeah.
I hate when he says things like "we're gonna know what he means."
It's not sexy.
Oh, rock.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
I think that people. I think in this. I think this actually came up last week too. That I think that people. Something comes out, and then you have a million copycats,
Right.
and then eventually somebody who really, comes along at a certain point and sort of gets it and says, like a Tarantino would in some ways, where he sort of says, "Well, I really enjoy these movies."
Right.
But I'm enough removed where it's not like I have to make a gangster movie. So I'm making a gangster movie, but I'm making it with a sensibility of a cultural context that I'm engaging in or living in or that I live around, and I'm putting my own sort of cultural spin on it. And that's what sort of transforms the genre too. Because I do think that that's kind of what we see with the raid movies is that this is the kind of and again, not that you want to, because I guess these are raid movies are Indonesian films, and Wu films are Hong Kong films, and then you have Japanese and you have the Korean, but I do think that's the thing, you kind of like cultural shifts where somebody will sort of take what the raid has done, not in its immediate aftermath, because you're always going to be compared to that, and you're always going to be like homaging to that in some way.
Sure.
Right? You're always going to be referencing that because that's the thing you just saw, and you're like, oh, well, we have. It's sort of like I think the best example I can give is it's sort of like, well, two examples is Unforgiven as a Western.
Okay.
It's like you couldn't make a Western any other way other than like Unforgiven after Unforgiven.
Okay.
And and I still think it hasn't really been done, although maybe it has, where somebody can create a sort of a new Western. That is a Western in the really true classic sense of a Western. Because maybe that was the last stamp on the Western, too, because the Western had been a genre that was important to Hollywood for so long.
Right.
The other one would be like the war film, especially the World War II film. You couldn't, after Saving Private Ryan, you couldn't make a war film any other way than like Saving Private Ryan. It's always compared to this thing that sort of at a certain point said, we've been doing it like this, but we understand it in a different way filmically now, how an audience will respond to it. We're going to do it like this, and and now you're always in that your mind sort of saying, oh, if I'm going to make a World War II movie, like I'm immediately, people are going to compare it with Saving Private Ryan. So unless you have the balls to just say, I'm making the movie that I'm going to make, and embracing the fact of like, yeah, I love the shit out of those, I love the shit out of John Woo movies. I love the shit out of like, because he'll tell you, and I do think this comes across. I think he likes when you watch a movie like The Raid or you watch a movie like The Raid 2. He likes movies like you talked about, like The Boxer's Omen.
Right.
He likes movies like The Seventh Curse. He likes movies like Black Cat. He likes the movies Operation Thunder Cops, which is a great movie. Black Panther Warriors.
Yep.
Those are the movies in a way that he's almost referencing because of the grittiness of them, because of like the stylized nature, but also like the real, like you said, danger.
Yep.
But again, he realizes I'm making a movie in 2013.
Right.
I'm making a movie in 2014 for a 2014 audience, so I can't make cheesy Shaolin monks running around with like papers and stuff and like slapping them on people's faces. There's a movie that just came out recently, and again, I know I'm rambling, but
No.
But I enjoy it, and I'm here. I didn't drive 877 miles.
That's right.
To fucking sit here and just sit on my hands. So you guys better enjoy it on this radio microphone or podcast microphone, whatever. And of course, then I lost my train
Of course, yeah.
Classic, I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about?
There's a film you were going to talk about.
I think it's a contemporary monk movie, maybe. Because I feel like I heard about one like in the corner.
It's a movie that I've been having a discussion with back and forth. It's a movie called Rigor Mortis. And it's a 2013, 2014 Juno Mock film.
Some of the people that were in Seventh Curse
are in this movie, and it's kind of this taking all of these actors from especially the real sort of like the Chinese vampire film of the 80s or that kind of genre, and trying to make a modern version of that, but still sort of, giving homage, sort of, and I don't, and a lot of people who really love those movies, and I like some of them, and I don't like. I'm not like a fetish person where I'm like I like every, that's what Godzilla people. Every Godzilla movie is amazing, and I'm like, no, a lot of them are crappy. They're just shitty. I mean, they might be fun and campy, but they're not good films. And you can like them, that's fine. But they'll see this movie and they're like rigor mortis, and it's got all these people, and I say, yeah, but it's something about. They've made a 2014 movie, and they're trying. It almost seems like they're trying to make a 1985 Chinese vampire movie, and they forgot though that they're making a movie for an audience in 2014, who is not. If you don't have any of that reference,
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. It won't work for you, and I think that. Or even if you do, you're sort of going, but what are you giving me that sort of enhances that, or what gives me something beyond that? Because, like you're saying, then you're just rehashing something for the sake of. I don't know if that's even come out yet.
I think it's on our list.
I think it's out there somewhere. Yeah.
We don't have rigor mortis on our list, but it's. So
and it's not a bad movie. That's the thing. Like, it's a good film, but then you add the CGI, then it's sort of like, I don't know if it's working.
It's one interesting thing that you brought up that I think is 100% true. Why I think a lot of these great American films don't get fetishized as much as when you look at Unforgiven or you look at Saving Private Ryan versus, there's a million John Woos until Rodriguez comes and kind of does it like his own way, and then that makes it even worse. So now there's a million like third generation John Woos, and they don't even know where that's coming from. There's an economy or lack of that would go into making something that was equivocal to Saving Private Ryan, or that was making Unforgiven even. You can't just go out and make those films. So they're great, incredible films, and they set a way that you couldn't make a Western any other way after that. You can't make a war movie. Well, there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into making a Western or a war movie that they have to cross before that bridge.
Right.
That just doesn't generally happen anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, I think people probably always had this conversation, especially about the action movie.
Sure.
After the 70s, they were probably like, and I think it's the type of action movies that you have and who the heroes are in those movies.
Yeah, and even, going back, we always talk about Star Wars, like in 77 when Star Wars came out, like that was sort of like the pinnacle of sci-fi, right? I mean, at least the ships and stuff like that. I mean, how do you put out a movie after that doesn't look that good,
Right. Or doesn't
there's
do
a
that
million,
thing.
There's a million copycats around that time. You say, that's fucking Star Wars,
Right.
yeah.
I mean, it made, even existing, it made even its, like, contemporaries, even the things that it might have cannibalized, like Star Trek, it, like, brought that back into relevance so that there were Star Trek films again. Flash Gordon.
Yeah, but come on, that Star Trek movie. And even Wrath of Khan, seriously, like, people, come on.
I really like Wrath of Khan.
People, come on. Everybody knows, and this is a proven fact. You can talk about Dunstan checks in all you want. Everybody knows that Star Trek 4 is the greatest Star Trek movie that was ever made.
The whales?
Because it's
whales?
I don't even know what that movie is. How is that a Star Trek movie? It's sort of like, we're going to make a Star Trek movie, but really we're just going to wander around San Francisco in our Star Trek clothes. And it's basically a comedy.
Yeah, it's equivocal to that promotional Ewok movie.
Yeah, it's just sort of like, how is this a Star Trek movie? And in some ways it's sort of like, wow, I don't know. That might be the greatest Star Trek movie.
I'd love to see the origin of that, or how it became that.
Yeah.
The pitch thing?
Yeah, like.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, I think it got to the point where they
didn't Nimoy direct that movie?
I think he directed the one before.
Or did Shatner?
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
He choked out the punk rocker on the bus.
Yeah. What's funny is that, like,
double dumbass on you.
I feel like every single one of those I read somewhere was supposed to be the last one. So they would like destroy the sets and they would like kill everything.
It was Nimoy,
baby.
Yeah. So I wonder if by the time they got to
he wrote
this,
it too.
They were like, how can we do this and make the same money that these last ones were doing, and not have to rebuild all this, rebuild all this shit.
It's just such an anomaly. Yeah. It's such an odd anomaly in like a Star Trek movie where it's essentially just it's like a comedy of like a it's like it's sort of like I could almost see like the Farrelly brothers sort of saying, it'd be funny. like if a bunch of foreigners came to New York City and didn't speak the language and didn't
Right.
know, they were living like on a farm and some, like a Borat character. He
Right.
came to New York and he
Yeah,
never
yeah.
was in the city and he didn't know like what a subway was, like that'd be funny, right?
I get.
And they were like, yeah, but let's do it with Star Trek people.
Rocky says, here's how it started. Kirk has fucked up every species except a whale. Now stay with me here. No, not fucked up. Fucked every
Yeah.
species. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I guess in a way too, like to be the Star Trek. I've been made fun of for more than one occasion for this, but to be, I guess, the Trekkie. Someone in this room is going to a Star Trek convention on Saturday.
Whoa.
It's not me.
No.
No.
And I'm going with the hot dame though, so it's okay.
Who?
The Red Queen and I. But it's probably the most pure Star Trek movie too, in a way, because every third one of those they were, going back to the old West, or they were like, like the fact that they just went to, what is that, San Francisco?
Yeah, they just hang out in San Francisco for like most. They hang out in an aquarium, and and like Spock swims around and like
Gets in
And
trouble.
the lady's like, "What's wrong with that guy?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Computer, turn on computer."
Hello,
Wessel?
computer.
Nuclear Wessel.
Yeah.
I love Italian.
Yeah.
And so do you.
But,
Yes.
I don't know how we got on that tangent, but yeah, I mean, I think somebody will come along. I mean, I was shocked at how good the Raid 2 was and thought like the Raid was what it was, and then he just said, well, I'm doing this now.
Right.
And he combined his sort of action style with a crime drama.
Sure.
Essentially, a syndicate movie in a weird way. And I thought that's really genius.
Yeah, I would have had no hope
you
if I
know.
hadn't seen his
The
VHS.
Yeah, which again was
segment.
the best,
Safe
probably
Haven, yeah.
the best
Yeah.
horror movie that's been made in the last 20
Yeah,
years.
it was
too.
amazing. Yeah, it was great.
So like that gave me a little hope that he had more, because I hadn't seen Manitou. Is that what it's called?
Marantu,
Yeah.
or Marantau, yeah. And I actually, just the name drop here, I actually met Iko Awai in
Really?
Toronto.
Oh, nice.
The night before the premiere of The Raid.
Did he break
standing
your
outside-
bones?
He did not. He was very nice. It's very interesting. It's a small little story. I was sitting outside of a bar. I was at a party. It was like 12:30 at night, and I saw it because I had seen Marantau at Action Fest the year before, and I was like, oh, and he's in the movie The Raid, okay.
Mhm.
And so I went up to him and I said, hey, I saw Marantau. I really enjoyed that movie, and I'm really looking forward to The Raid tomorrow night. And and he was like very gracious, kind of broken English, but still definitely like you could understand him. Thank you very much. And he pointed to the guy Joe Taslim, I think is his name, who was his buddy in the movie, who spoiler alert, dies. I think that's his name. He's in like the Fast and Furious movies now or something like that. He's the guy who gets the knife in the first Raid. And he was like, oh, this guy's in the Raid too. So I was like, okay. So then I was like, well, where's Gareth or Geraldo or whatever his name is. Giraffe. And he's inside and blah blah blah. And so we had this brief conversation. We couldn't find Gareth, so I said, well, I gotta go. It's late. This, that, and the other thing. The next night they have the premiere of The Raid. They're introducing the people before the movie to come out. Here's Iko Awai. He comes out, and he's speaking through an interpreter the whole time. And
Wow.
I'm sitting there thinking, this guy speaks English. What is he
Could,
doing?
could be if he's talking in front of an audience, maybe.
It was
yeah.
very strange. Though. It was a very weird, like and I just thought, okay. And then again, I say like that screening of The Raid in Toronto was, I mean, like he just punched a bag fast in the first 5 minutes, and people were like falling into the aisles, being like, oh my god,
Yeah.
this will be the greatest movie ever. So. Oh, we got a lot of text here. Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
just catch up. Rocky's taking off, so thanks for hanging out, Rock. Thanks for recommending Bounty Killer.
Yeah, nice.
He says, have a great night, guys. I look forward to hearing the complete show or later. Sounds like you guys felt exactly the way I did about Bounty Killer upon my second viewing. Only reason I said it was the fun, silly blood fights, the chain in the guy's face, was my favorite scene.
Yeah.
And Mary Death ruled my imagination for a week. See you next week.
Yeah.
So I would love to continue to talk about films. So let's get some feedback, and we'll see. Ravenshadow, you got a marker in your hand. I think you have something planned.
I do. I have a gift, Jay.
Oh, you got a gift? You want?
Jeez.
All right, let's do feedback
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
Okay.
What does that mean? Feedback? What happens?
Oh, we have a voicemail and an email.
Oh, okay.
Listener feedback.
Okay.
But it's
although-
usually just supervillains harassing
Yeah,
us lately.
yeah.
Like no actual.
Yeah, I had when I entered, I had a Sir Isaac, entrance I was going to do, and then I thought, that's dumb. And then I had a Joey Tron entrance. I said, I'm not going to do that. And then I had like some penis robot thing. I had like 20 of them.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well,
I just went with a Nambla reference. It was just easier.
That's good too. Yeah.
You had plenty of time to think of one. You know, you're on the road for 44 episodes or whatever it was.
Yeah.
All right, let's listen to this voicemail.
Dear Dynamo, you can wipe the tears from your eyes now. I finally called in just like you've been waiting for me to do for the last couple of weeks. Apparently, it never occurred to you Americans that I've been busy watching the World Cup games along with the other 95% of the Earth's population. In fact, I've got the help gang down here. I've got Senor Isaac. Hola, amigos. How you doing? And, of course, my personal assistant robot, Maggie Jr.
Hey, Dynamo. Didn't the Barteri used to have 3 members?
Ain't she a laugh? Anyway, the reason why I'm calling in now is because during the international bathroom break that is America taking the field, I caught up with your shows. And what did I hear?
Those guys are slow.
Well, first, I heard you asking Wolfenstein if I'd called in yet. And then, I heard the rest of the hungry hippos shooting their mouths off by saying I am not a true villain. I'll deal with them later. But finally, I heard some southern shit kicker who thinks the best way to sign a death warrant is to name an android sex toy after me. Hey, fuck you, cracker! Now, I'll admit my first instinct was to track him down, tie him up, stick a bullet in each nostril, and hit him with a hammer. But then you did something very, very dumb, Dynamo.
I did.
You told the truth. And the truth is, you need me to hunt him down, don't you? I mean, that's your whole plan to keep the members of the show alive, isn't it? Getting me, Jerry Tron, and Hillbilly Jim to fight each other in a 3-way dance until one or more of us does the full kobold.
Oh.
Well, it's a nice plan, but it's got one massive flaw in it. You see, I'm not like the other two. They want you dead. But after 99 podcasts of listening to you, listening to Michael Ravenshadow, I've come to realize that it'd be meaner to keep you alive. Also, if we're going to be honest, I've always thought of you as the pet dog I never had as a child.
Great.
Your nose is wet, you eat scraps off the kitchen table, and if I saw you in my living room, I'd put down newspaper. So, what would you do, Dynamo, if I were to ignore those 2 other so-called villains, go to watching Germany kick Portugal's ass, and meanwhile, some of those rape bots that the Redneck Revenger lost made it into your studio, huh? What would you do then?
Kill robots.
You're the only one in there who knows how to fight.
It's true.
I mean, sure, MonsterZero could probably hold his own. But what if a couple of snowflakes hit the ground first? Then he wouldn't even be there. Now, if you guys get in trouble, you're going to need some serious backup. You're going to need to fight fire with flamethrower. You're going to need a supreme supervillain on your side.
What?
And normally, that would be me. Except apparently, it's not me. Because according to your pencil-pushing, chain-smoking, katana-wielding friends, I'm not a supervillain!
Hey, Nimrods. Does any of this sound familiar?
But we haven't seen, like, legit real villains so long, man.
Yeah.
It's been,
Sir
like, what,
Isaac.
10 years?
Sir Isaac.
Well, he's hardly a villain.
He's a pretty big villain. Hear what he said about Cobalt?
Yeah, no, okay.
What,
Well,
AIDS
compared
be a
to what we
villain?
were putting down, like, 10 years ago, there's, like, nothing going on lately.
Well,
You better wake up on me, Donald, amigos. Because the chickens are coming home to roost. Damn straight they are. So here's what you're going to do, Dynamo. Unless you want me to stay on the sidelines while Joey Tron and the banjo player from Deliverance tear your buddies a new asshole,
Doctor.
you're going to make Wolfenstein, Ravenshadow, and especially Tiny White individually apologize for dismissing my evil genius and admit that I am the greatest supervillain they have ever known. And they better sound sorry. You have until the end of this podcast.
Like 2 minutes.
I have spoken. Now, if you'll excuse me, another game's starting up. Okay, who's playing this time?
Brazil versus Mexico.
Right, give us a countdown, would you? Okay. Uno, dos, tres, Mexico! Mexico! Mexico!
What, do you have a vuvuzela, Ravenshadow?
A what? I beg your pardon?
He wants us to say sorry.
Hey, listen, also, Sir Isaac, you should know that off air, they said that you weren't good enough to eat bloody, wormy shit, and I said, yes, he was. So I'm in your corner the whole time.
We don't have time for sorry tonight.
Listen,
and Tiny's not here either.
Listen, at the end of the day, I'm not afraid. Listen, do you hit it on the head, Sir Isaac. Do you think I'm afraid to die by the hands of any of these superheroes? If Joey Tron was capable of doing it, he would have done it years ago.
I got a knife.
Yeah, great. Yeah, you might kill some werewolves. If the Southern Retarder was capable of doing it, he'd pull his short bus right up to the back, and we'd go round and round. I am a little more worried about you than I am about the rest of them, Sir Isaac. A little more. So if you all want to come up and be the trilogy of terrific or whatever you're going to be, come on up and I'll be here waiting for you. I don't even need Tiny White.
Got a toothpick in here, too.
Yeah, I'll stab with a Ravenshadow.
Great. So, we got any other voicemails?
No.
Good.
We have an email, though.
Oh, great.
From our boy.
Oh, Snoop.
Guess?
Luan Tron.
Luan Tron, yep.
He's going to love Jay.
Yes, he is. Luan says, hey, guys, how is everyone? I hope everyone is doing okay.
I was better a voicemail ago. But.
Yeah. First, I just want to wish Johnny and MZ a happy birthday, and I hope it turns out spectacular for you guys. Thanks, Luan.
I think the not dying part is pretty spectacular.
Yes.
So, getting to the birthdays.
Yeah. Second, I just finished listening to this week's podcast on The Seventh Curse, and man, am I thrilled that you guys enjoyed the film and had the same kind of reaction that I had when I watched this movie for the first time. This film is fucking nuts.
Yep.
There are so many WTF and holy shit moments in the film. I had to watch it twice the first time around, just to absorb everything that I'd seen.
It's fappable.
You're affable? Affable? No. I do agree with Dynamo about Maggie Chung, though. I love her as an actress, but in this film, all I wanted to do was stick my little ghost in her mouth to shut her up.
Whoa.
Even though Maggie was kind of annoying, it still did not detract from the overall joy and zaniness of the film. I would love to write an in-depth review of this film one day, but for now, I'll just list some key points I took away from the film. So here's Luan's bullet points. Maggie just assaulted an officer with a brick. Was that an inflatable car, Jack? Who knew that breast cancer could postpone a blood spell for a year? That's good info to have, though, Ravenshadow. You might need that.
I get that.
That was on his list. He just
Yes.
didn't get it out.
Baby from It's Alive, fucked a tadpole equals little ghosts.
See?
Holy shit. A dude got shot by a shotgun and arrow at the same time.
That's true.
Yeah. I wonder if the guy who got hit by the Jeep is still alive. That dude got fucked.
Totally.
Fucked up. Baby fucking grinder. Chinese answer to Planned Parenthood.
Yes. It's like I said, between that and the grappling revolver, that should have had Amazon links in this film.
No kidding. First movie to include a cow's placenta? Maybe. I bet MonsterZero would know.
In
He clearly didn't see Casablanca.
That was originally called Casablanca.
Booby trap Buddha statue on Kung Fu fighting monks. Old ancestors / man in a rubber suit. Yes. Chow Yun Fat with a fucking bazooka. To sum everything up, wine, police raid, Betsy's tits, blood spell, worm tribe, little ghost, running people over with a jeep, baby grinder, old ancestor, cow placenta, kung fu fighting, bazooka Chow Yun Fat equals a fucking good time. Till next time, fellas, Luan. Over and out, Luan. Thank you for the awesome film suggestion last week, and also thanks for the email, Luan. You are
The end of that email was very Joe Bob Briggs.
Well, actually,
Flu punching,
Yeah.
baby biting, you know, chow
Yeah.
yun fat bazooka. I
Four
give it
naked
3
breasts.
stars. It's the 7th curse coming up on Monster Vision. Guy gets impaled with a chain in the face.
That's right.
Head split with axe.
Stop sign X.
Yeah.
We don't have any
4 breasts.
Blonde. The blonde one.
4 blonde breasts. Mary Death's ass. Dodge Charger. A guy with a beard and glasses. Kind of looks like the dude from Tim and Eric. Or Brian, whatever you said.
No trick or tweet moment.
Oh, it sucks, man.
Sorry, no one tweeted at. Well, we got like a couple follow Fridays, but F that. That's not fun. Now, Ravenshadow, you have.
But we appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. We appreciate
thank
it. If you want to tweet at us, you'll get in the trick or tweet moment.
We just switched roles there for a minute.
Hashtag no Asians.
Whoa, bang bong. Bing bong.
Yeah, sorry, hashtag bing bong chingachong.
I love the massage community.
Oh, no!
Come on.
Remember, children.
Fucking force me into it.
Hashtag happy ending. Ravenshaw, you have something.
I do.
Remember,
I
children.
A lot of things. It's so exciting that Jay's here with us. You know what I mean? And he's been just spreading out.
What? What's he doing?
The love and the gifts.
Wait. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me.
I spread it out too much. It's just I'm dropping the mic.
What's that?
Raven Shadow.
Yes.
Let me get this going. Hold on. All right, here we go.
There you go.
While you talk.
Do I wait for it to go on for that to talk?
Yeah. I thought we were going to go.
Are the fans on?
Yeah.
Nice.
we gotta go.
The Hot Pockets are going. Listen, this has been so. I cannot think of a better night or time to give this away for the first time. A new product and a gift for Jay.
A new product.
Yeah, it's on the Bambaleo Shop Zone, Ravenshadow.com, and I haven't as much secured the domain name as I have access to a printer.
Oh, biginthepants.com.
Yeah, it's different. So Jay, I'm giving you 2 things.
Oh.
One
hepatitis.
is hepatitis.
Number 2 is AIDS.
It rhymes with burpees. One is using the show.
Oh, you taking him on vacation?
Official Giants Don't Die Ravenshadow portrait, which you have available.
Shop zone.
And then a little something to you. There's 2 different things. One's a
It's the
personal
same picture.
No, one is a special message to Jay. One's to Jay. What
He's
does
only
it
got
say?
one birthday.
It's the same thing.
No, it's different. It's different.
He's like the asshole at the horror convention that has like 3 8x10 spread out differently.
This one has a poem on this side.
Yeah.
And this is sort of a generic. This is probably like the $49.95 sort of generic. Like you send me the $50, I'll send you the autograph. The assistant signed this.
Exactly.
And then this one is personalized.
Yep.
Oh, can we read that on air, or is it?
We're gonna read it.
Okay?
It says to Jay! Exclamation point. So
Ooh.
this is exciting.
Yep.
You were worth the wait. And that is true. Best wishes! Exclamation point. M. Ravenshadow, and then there's a little heart at the bottom.
Ooh.
Yeah. And see, look, on the $49.95 one, you don't get the heart.
No, that's
Just get best wishes!
Yeah,
Exclamation point. Go fuck yourself. Thanks for the check.
Yeah.
But here's some inspirational words.
Giants don't
Do
die.
they know the poem?
Go ahead, we can read it.
Okay, let's read the poem. This is Giants Don't Die.
This is the. Let's see what episode is this quote from? This episode it was from
2 ago,
episode
so
97,
96, yeah.
when we reviewed Hawk the Slayer.
Slayer.
They live in our hearts, our minds, and in our stories. And if we do that, then we're all immortal, Tiny. Michael Ravenshadow.
Oh, bravo!
Yes, this is fantastic.
You can take that with you.
It'll be in the trash. I'll find it in the trash in the bathroom of the
I'm
castle.
not going in that bathroom.
Johnny, Jay must have dropped this last week. That's weird. We should mail it to him.
Raven Shadow's going to find it at a rest stop on the way back.
If it's in the install, don't go near it.
Let me turn the fans off now.
Yeah.
Please.
And that's why I put my headphones on so I could hear the fan too.
Get a vibe.
Yeah, you got to flow. I got to feel it. That's great. Wow.
Here, hold that up. Right this way. That'll look
They're
good.
taking a
Does it
selfie
look like the
with.
microphone is like a penis going in his mouth?
It does. It really
Bad
does.
photo. Edit that out. Edit that.
It doesn't even need a Photoshop.
Thank God. That's the only time I ever use the filters on Instagram is when I'm in the studio here, because it's the only time
He's
that.
got a whole folder.
And
of
yeah,
them.
What?
episode 100. This could be yours. We have plenty more on the Bombaleo Shop
Oh, look, but
Zone.
he's already got the picture on the backside.
You know
right?
what? Let's do this. I was thinking about doing this for everyone that sends us a voicemail or an email or just voicemail.
I like voicemail.
Okay. Ravenshadow likes to hear people's voices. If you send us a voicemail next week for episode 100,
Yep.
you'll personalize it?
I will personalize it. You will get the official Giants Don't Die on Bond's second sheet page.
Oh,
This isn't. Listen,
that's no joke.
This isn't what you get at Kinko's. This is Bond second sheet. It's a heavier stock.
Yeah, this is
Very
a
glossy.
little bit. I don't know about the. I guess it's
Super bomb, super bomb.
It's second Bombaleo. You get the Giants Don't Die limited edition print, but you also get a personalized to you Ravenshadow. And maybe you might even get the official Giants Don't Die in color, but Giants Don't Die Shadow Edition, which is in black and white. See,
Wait, no, you fucked up printing it.
I
I
pushed the
know
wrong
you
button.
did.
I did the wrong printer. It's black and white. It's the 4400, not the 4500 at Kinko's. But yeah, so that's,
Was that a TV show, 4400 or something?
I'm not sure. Hawaii 4400.
Yeah, good.
So,
Beverly
all right.
Hills
So
4400.
for every voicemail
Yes.
we get, Michael Ravenshadow will send you. What do we call that? The double feature, the Ravenshadow double feature.
Yeah.
Giants Don't Die. $49.99 is what's going for in the shop zone.
Absolutely, the Bombaleo Shop Zone.
The Bombaleo.shopzone.com.
And Raven Shadow, just in case, I was going to do this off air, but I think that, while this was up in the air and I took it instantly, I think that should definitely go home with you, because a hole in my collection, like, I've never seen you get nostalgic like that for anything ever. So
And anything in the box.
yeah, you made him. Well, I'm taking the fucking box, but you made Raven Shadow get all I don't know, bushy for a second.
Loose, real wet.
The fucking joke will be on me because I won't have any, and he'll throw them in a pile with the other 4 that he has. But.
And I think he will personalize them all with 2J.
Yes.
You were worth the wait. Best wishes, all of them. So you have that to look forward to.
And it comes in what is this? It's not laminated, but
No, it's binder ready.
Yeah.
it's
binder
It's ready
for your
sale.
binder full of women, right?
Yeah. It's mailed to bind.
It's for your
The ties that
beginning
binder.
of your binder full of giants.
Or
Yeah.
binder full of Trick or Treat radio personalities.
That's the thing. And there's so much of it.
This is
There's so
just
much.
number 1. This is the
That's
first.
right.
This is the first edition.
This is the opening salvo.
We're gonna need to send him a rebinder to actually watch the movies.
All right, we're way over.
We gotta go.
Yeah,
It might be episode 100.
I wish we could just stay recording until issue 100. Just keep Jay here all week, but I don't know if that's possible.
Fucking try it, man.
I have
So
a staple gun. I could just give one in the foot.
I wanted to talk about. We don't have time, but I want to talk. There's lots of good stuff on
You
Netflix.
wanted to talk about princesses with Steve Buscemi's eyes?
No. There's lots of good stuff on Netflix, though. I just added a ton to my queue. So
I have no room in my queue. I gotta watch some stuff.
Really?
I don't have Netflix.
You don't have it? No. Some good stuff on here. I've never seen The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, as everyone is giving me shit for, and it's on Netflix now.
Yep. It's on my queue.
It's on your queue?
Yeah.
So lots of good stuff in there.
Your
so.
Netflix looks different than my Netflix.
They just rebranded it, I think. New logo and
Oh,
stuff.
it's on the. It's because you're on like.
It's on the,
big
it's on the web.
computer.
On the web.
Yeah.
All right, so.
Is that a Dungeons and Dragons poster with Brian Donaghy?
Yeah,
That's
isn't
the
that
Dungeon
great?
Master.
Isn't that awesome?
Is
Yeah.
everybody else in there supposed to be somebody?
I can't tell. It's too small to see.
I don't know.
Who's
My boy AI posted that.
who. AI?
Yeah.
Is it AL?
It's AI.
D. Lundgren?
Well, okay, spoiler alert. I guess you fucking.
I almost got thrown out of that movie at about 20 minutes from the end.
Oh, when it went to be fucking 8 billion years in the future?
Yeah, that's not why it bothered me that they threw in a narrative device that wasn't in the rest of the movie. It's like, now we're going to throw in narration.
What movie?
AI.
Oh.
Dungeons and
I thought we were still talking about Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah.
Dungeons and Dropkicks.
Dungeons and Dropkicks. Yeah.
Remember, children.
All right. Ravenshadow, any last thoughts before we head out of here?
No, I think fucking win is win and play is play. Yeah, leave a voicemail and you get some swag.
That's right. So for every voicemail next week, you will get the duo. I don't even know what to fucking call it. You'll get 2 pictures of Ravenshadow: the Giants Don't Die poster and the normal one, personalized to you.
The dose of dumb set.
To leave a voicemail, you go to trickortreatradio.com. On the right-hand side, click the button. It'll pop up a dialog box. You can record right from your computer. If you can't do that, you can also just send us a voice memo. Pretty much every smartphone these days has an option to record your voice. Do a voice memo and then mail it to podcast@trickortreatradio.com. And or you could just do an MP3. You know, if you're savvy, you can make an MP3 and just send it through your computer. Podcast@trickortreatradio.com. We hope to hear from lots of folks.
Yeah.
We have some stuff planned. I'm excited for what we have. I can't announce it yet, but as soon as we know, we'll announce it on the Fib. We'll make a big deal about episode 100. Tell all your friends to tune in. Maybe we'll do some live stuff. Maybe we can give away. Are you taking all those comics?
We can talk about it.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe we'll have some stuff.
Leave the shit.
Maybe we'll have some stuff to give away. Maybe we'll give away a Dead Ice T-shirt or something. Dead Ice
I owe Pat.
CDs.
I owe Pat Rahal a Dead Ice T-shirt.
Well, maybe he can play.
Maybe fucking leave a voicemail.
So maybe we can do.
I'm gonna leave an awesome gift here.
We'll find it a couple days later.
Hey Johnny, where's your hamper? Oh, why? No reason.
The Star Destroyer, the most economical and practical of all spaceships in science fiction.
All right, Star Trek guy.
Yeah,
well, this is. But I mean, just looking at this. Look at this thing. See, this would work.
Jay, it was awesome having you in studio. Hopefully, this isn't the last time.
Oh, it's the last.
Oh,
time.
damn it! We're coming back.
We only had to wait 100.
Yeah, we had to wait 99 episodes. Yep.
Come on. Oh, that's right. On Halloween.
Yeah.
And Halloween.
102.
And two Halloweens. And
I think we're actually up to like 125, but I stopped counting.
Probably. All right.
Jay, you've been with us since almost the beginning, so thanks,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
It was, you know.
I don't think so.
No, it's true.
Yeah, but okay.
Jay, any final words for the listeners out there?
Giants don't die.
Perfect. It's very apropos with
No,
that
it's late.
poster.
Let's get the fuck
It
out.
is. It is late.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for having me, everyone.
No problem. Thanks for coming in, Jay. This is such a pleasure. It was really hard to not to blow the surprise and tell everyone. Made it happen. Were you surprised, Dynamo?
Yeah, I was. We rode about 45 minutes together.
I know. I didn't say the damn thing.
You did almost blow it in retrospect by you brought a chair in.
Yeah,
I did.
because we have a guest today. You know, like I'm like, oh, that's okay.
You're like, you had no like. If we weren't more tired, we totally would have called it because you had no like cover up. You're like, you brought it over there, set it up, and Ravenshadow was like, you got a guest, and you're like, oh no, this goes over here where MonsterZero.
You're right. I did almost blood.
And then MonsterZero walked in with the chair and was confused. Remember, children, wherever you go, there you are.
All right, everyone. Next week, join us for episode 100. If you join us live, maybe we'll have some cool stuff to give away. Otherwise, we'll have some Ravenshadow pictures. Thanks for tuning in. We'll check you folks next week for episode 100.